That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah! What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What is up, family? Welcome in. This is The Fix, AM and the PM, only on A2D Radio. Listen, brand new sponsor on Wednesday nights here, and it's the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. All right, and listen, we know that many of you out there are struggling with either mental health, okay, and other or addiction issues. And we're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. And if you need any help, please call 856-651-8117. You find everything down there right at the bottom. For any of our family, mental health, addiction issues, the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox, right in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So right around the corner, virtual. They're doing virtual stuff. And you talk to my buddy Rob, and he takes care of you. And listen, back this guy 110%. 856-651-8117. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Okay, tons, because as of right now, we have no Eagles head coach. Phillies looking brighter. So we'll dive into both of them organizations later on the show. We'll circle the NBA. Everybody's darling. Little double OT loss tonight. Hate to see it. For the Brooklyn Net fans out there. Hate to see it. We'll circle the NBA. A lot of good games tonight. Sixers Celtics. Main topic at hand, which is also our main topic at hand, is going to be Sixers too, because there's going to be heavy Sixers for a while here, because we got a ton to talk about. And that's brought to you by our poll question. Is going to be brought to you by allcampusoc.com. Use discount code A2D for 15% off. Allcampusoc.com, discount code A2D for 15% off. Welcome in, fam. We'll get to the poll. 1 second. Tom Renone, Ryan Brodo, Frank Vespi, Ralph Delvecchio, Greg Mwagvik, Nate Moss. What up, everybody? We got a lot to talk about. Noah Eaton back on A2D around 10:30. He's sorry for any inconvenience. He said we haven't seen him in 6 months, but he's sorry for any inconvenience. We'll talk to Noah around 10:30. I wanted to get my guy Kai Carlin on, covers the Sixers, but obviously they play tonight, so I knew he was going to be in pressers afterwards. So we'll shoot for him Friday night, but they play Friday night too. So we'll get Kai at some point, like we got Paulie. Everybody stay tuned, okay? Allcampusoc.com, though, for all your team hats. Use promo code A2D, 15% off. They don't have your hat. Message John Coyle. He'll get the goddamn hat for you. Our poll question, the big dog. Joel Embiid is the MVP of the league so far this season. Do you agree or disagree? And listen, a lot of people out there are going to tell me, nah, Tom, you look a lot of guys around the league having really good years to start the season off. Okay, this guy, I don't know how many wins this team has if you take Joel Embiid off of it. Like, seriously. I mean, you might be close to talking lottery-ish. That's how much of an impact he's had. A monster game tonight, okay? And against a team that I don't care if they're missing Tatum or not. They're still a damn good basketball team. And to be able to go out there tonight and will your team – Donovan, look at you.
Donovan, appreciate it.
Ben Simmons with a nice 11 points. Yep. I know, Don. I know. We'll talk. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the realism. Nothing's no lie. Neither in the honey cut or the 11 points. Clap your hands, everybody, for 2 for 5 from the field. Everybody's going to tell me all the other shit. I know. I'm not ready to trade anybody. I don't even want to talk trades. But to our poll, Joel Embiid is the MVP of the league so far this season. And I know I'm a big Joel guy, but I agree, and for more reasons than just production. Okay, I know he was going to miss 2 games, but we always talk about you can miss 10, 12 games in the regular season. If the games you're in there, you're flat out dominant. You know what I mean? The whole league misses games. I don't like it, but as a big man, I understand it for a team perspective of trying to keep you fresh when you get to the postseason. I've always been okay with that. But if he stays healthy this year, he's absolutely going to be, in my opinion, right up there in the top 3 to 5 if he stays healthy and he plays the majority of the year. But right now, I agree because I don't know where this team's at. This team's first in the Eastern Conference. Through all the shit that happened over like a 2-week period for the Philadelphia 76ers, they're in first place in the Eastern Conference. Okay? And that is what it is. You are what your record says you are. You are where you are in the standings. That's who you are. That's who they are right now. And they've been able to tread water without one of their best shooters. Right? They've been able to figure out ways to win games without some of their key, impactful players at different times. And I grant they got off to a 7-1 start. But this is a big one tonight. No Tatum for them, no Seth for you. I don't care. They got a lot of talent. And this dude was unbelievable again tonight. Listen, there's been a lot of dominant big men that we've all seen. There hasn't been a dude that can do all of it, though. Like, that's why we were so enticed on draft night, okay? Because you have the ability to dominate like Shaquille O'Neal, right? To be that much of an impact in the low post, which we begged for. And the ability to have a little AD in you, have a little Jokic in you, right? Like, he has a little bit of every little Hakeem in him. So he has a little tiny bit of, like, things that resemble great players. And you're starting to see him put it all together. The demeanor on the court, right? Different attitude, body language, right? Body language is a big thing. Everybody complained about body language. That's all I heard for all this time. Body language. Okay. 26-year-old man now. Looks like that body language is cleaned up a little bit here. So I have no reason, and I've said this from day one with him about being healthy. If he's healthy, he's dominant. If he's healthy, and there's a memory that came on my timeline. This is all I got to say about the rest of this. From 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It might have even been longer. Okay? But it was talking about the Wiggins of the world and all that. Okay? And the one thing that was said then, and it still holds true to me no matter where the NBA goes from here. Big men, great big men, win championships. 2 guards, the flashy ones that don't win shit, sign shoe deals. That's always been true. And that's your Mike, right? And there's other guys that come in between that, but Mike's a big one. Besides Cleveland, Bron's always had a big man, but Bron changed it because he's not even a 2 guard. He's a monster. Okay, so he doesn't even count. He might as well be a center. Might as well be a big man / a point guard. Okay, but you look around, right, guys? Look around. I mean, it's you know, the Warriors are the only ones that change that. They're the only ones who really changed that over a long period of time. And they were the greatest shooting team we've ever seen. So you're not always going to shoot like that. You're not always going to shoot like that. So
when you got those two, you shoot like that, though.
Yeah, if you got them,
if you got Curry and Clay, you're going to always shoot like that. It don't matter.
The whole league's been chasing it, guys. The whole league's been chasing that style outside of a few teams. And the Lakers, in my opinion, are one of them that didn't chase it. You got to get a big man. And AD's a big man. Big men win championships, right? Especially special ones. And he's a special one. And he's a big reason why they won a championship this summer. Huge reason. They don't have him, they don't win a championship. It's that simple. Sixers, they're going to get the one. All right, when you have this kind of presence that can take over a game like this, understand, they held him to 17 points tonight, and he's a big part of that. Big part of that. Because not only is it the dominant scoring, the defensive, the rebounding, all that stuff that we all watched in the fourth quarter tonight. So, family out there, you let us know. You can find us live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download. Join the conversation tonight. Chime in with us. Let us know about Joel Embiid. And fam, you guys here, whoever wants to go next, Joel
I'm
Embiid.
about to say you done because you were going. You on a roll.
I do, Nate. This is what I do, baby.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to jump in there, but I was letting the fumes come out. I could see it.
Let them come out when they got to.
Well, you know me. I'm going to have to be the go against you. I completely disagree. I don't think that. I think we need to see this. This is the Embiid that we want. This is the Embiid that we want to see. This is the Embiid that we hope to see. But we have to see this consistently. Not saying he has to drop 45 and 12 every night, but like I said, I think on last Wednesday's show that he has to be in the high 30s, 33, 34, and 12 and 10 a night. They had a couple bad losses. This was the first notable win, right? And like you said, Tatum wasn't there today. Boston always gives us trouble. The last couple of years. So when you think of that, they gave us some spots. He showed up when what stars are supposed to. For me, it's Bron. I think MVP of the league right now is Bron. I don't think you can really go past that at all. What he's doing right now is phenomenal. The way that team is playing is phenomenal. You can talk about Seth as well, Curry. He's holding down that team as well. I think those two are my top two guys this early right now. But we have to see more of this and we have to see this against top talent. Who played center today for the Celtics? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who did he play against? Great.
But to that's their team, though. It's not like they're missing guys and he's doing it against the backups. That's who the Celtics go to battle with, though. Yeah, no, that's true. And you're absolutely right. But I need to see it against top competition. And there's not a lot of like top competition as a center. But I need to see it against, big bodies where he can just dominate them. And he has. He's shown that he can. We need to see it consistently. I'm going to have to disagree.
Yeah, no, I mean, consistently this year he's done it. Now, granted, smaller sample size. But usually his numbers, are consistent. His consistency comes from not playing. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest issue. Like him playing – he scores a point a minute almost. I mean, he's always been that kind of cat. Always. From the second he dropped, he was able to step on the court and he played in 15 minutes. He was scoring 17 points. You know what I mean? We're all like, woo, right? So his biggest issue is just playing. It's just playing.
Well, it's the way he was playing too with Brett Brown, right? He was doing high pick and rolls. He was shooting threes from the top of the key. You know what I mean? If you're a dominant big man, you should put your ass right on that goddamn block and go to work because nobody can guard you. When you're starting to do face-ups from 18 feet away and then doing a couple little shakes here and there and then shooting jumpers, yes, we understand you're skilled to do that, but let's be smart. Let's have big IQ, high basketball IQ here. This man can't guard me on the block. I have the footwork. I have the speed. I'm dominant down there. Nobody can stop me on the block. Why not dominate down there? That's the only problem I see with that thought that he can't. Sometimes he falls in love with that little jumper he has. He falls in love, run when nobody's around and take that three, and he can make those threes. But that's not what I want. I don't want to see the stat sheet and see him going 3 for 8 from 3-point line. I don't want to see that from my big man at 7'2". Get your ass on the block. Let's go to work.
I like to see a combination of things. But I mean, I don't mind it because you're just that talented. I'll just always believe that. I don't want you shooting 7 a game, but I've always been a believer, you can shoot 3. You know what I mean? But if you don't make it.
I mean, the game's evolving to that. So I definitely agree. But what was he tonight? How many shots? I mean, but he had 45, so it doesn't really fucking matter at this point. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think. Tristan Thompson is decent on the defensive side. So he had
42 points on 19 shots.
And he was 1 for 5. Do you think 5 threes is a lot for him? I mean, Harris took 5 threes.
I think no more than
because sorry, Tom.
No, go ahead. No more than that.
No, I was going to say no because of the way they are. For him, at least tonight, they were in the flow of the game. It wasn't. Yeah. It didn't feel like he was jacking them, right?
They weren't forced.
I completely agree with you that if he's jacking them and forcing them, and he's trying, that's his offense for the game. Completely agree with you. Get your ass on the block. Let's do work. But tonight, they felt they were in the flow of the game. They were in the flow of the ball movement. A couple times I know Ben went in and Joel trailed him, and he got a couple open looks that way. So, no, 5 isn't too much when they're in the flow of the game.
How many did he make? How many of those 5 did he make?
He only made 1.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
only
I didn't watch the game. I had money on other games, so I didn't watch the game.
there was one bad three in there where he tried to step back three, which like looked pretty, but like
He was trying to get cute. It looked like he was just trying to get cute with it.
yeah, there's one bad three in there. I'm okay with it. If you're doing like we talked about, you put up 42 tonight, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know,
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah, we're complaining we're nicking his game, but he put up 45 and 12. So
we're nicking him in terms of an MVP. Like I'm not, because I think right now he is because of his importance too.
Exactly.
But it's okay to nitpick when you're talking MVP. It's okay. Like don't feel bad here. Nobody's talking bad about Joel Embiid. Like when you're talking MVP, you're allowed to nitpick a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Like I would say I agree to it, and just based off of, and again, LeBron argument, the Jokic argument, everyone, it's so tough, especially this part of the season, but he's definitely top three. I mean, there's no question Joel Embiid's top three.
I agree.
And the reason why I put him over the edge with everybody, not to say LeBron's not important to the Lakers, not to say that Jokic isn't important to obviously the Nuggets, but we've seen when Joel Embiid is off the court and not playing, or even not up to his best game. I think the only time we saw him have one of those bad games all season long when he was here was that Thursday a couple weeks ago. It'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow against the Nets, the night we were on TNT, and that was the Seth Curry COVID game when we found out all the COVID stuff started. That was the only game where he was just bad. And I'm not giving excuses for it, but that was off of a back-to-back, and we knew, because I think we went in overtime that night. We knew it was going to be kind of a sluggish night for Embiid, and we didn't even know if he was going to play. That was the game, the night before. I remember we were on where he had like 38 points in 3 quarters or something ridiculous. But just to talk about his importance tonight, I'm not really a stat guy, but there's 2 big stats that were, huge as far as, showing the importance he has not only in this game but all season. The first thing is that when you look at this game alone, Joel Embiid had 36 through 3 quarters. That was the most points by a Sixers player through the first 3 quarters since Allen Iverson on April 4th, 2006. It's the most points a Sixers players had through 3 quarters since Iverson.
And that man didn't have a 3, and he was 6 foot nothing. He was a straight killer, man.
Love that guy.
He was a straight killer.
and the other one, his full stats tonight, obviously, 42 points, 10 rebounds, 12 of 19, 17 of 21 for free throws, 1 turnover. There's only one other instance where a Sixers player had a 40-10 game with only 1 or fewer turnovers since the 3-point era began. It's Joel Embiid in 2019.
That's a big man who was at trouble.
Definitely wasn't Iverson.
With turnover issues in the past, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's what I mean. Even this year, I mean, he's 3-4-3-1 over his last 4, which is way better for the amount of times he touches the basketball too.
Yeah, and especially considering how bad turnover, the whole team ranks. We're 28th in the league in turnovers. We average just over 17 turnovers a game. So for him to come out of this game with only 1 turnover, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. So I look at the way this offense, and a lot of it's not necessarily him not being on the court. It's more based off of the guys not really stepping up around him. But, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Right now, this offense and this team is way different when Joel Embiid's on the court. And I'm hoping we fix that. That way we can take a little pressure off of him and we can really capitalize on those games where Embiid's not playing. But, God, I can't take anything away from Joel Embiid. He's done everything that we've asked him to do as far as being locked in, having a serious mindset heading into the season, not starting off slow, being crucial and clutch in the 4th quarter, not looking mopey. I mean, like we talked about literally a week ago or 2 weeks ago. He had a bad first half, and he finishes the game with over 30 points. You know what I'm saying? That was a couple weeks ago where he was moping in the first. So, to me, this guy's been a true team player, and he's been dominant. So, I have no complaints with this guy.
What up, Prism?
What's up, Prism?
He's my MVP, partially because I don't watch much of the rest of the NBA. But I look at the evolution of Joel, right? And you all have hit on it. You look at the evolution, and you look at down the stretch tonight. The ball ran through Joel, right? There was no other person touching that ball on the other side of half court first than Joel. Even if it was a quick dribble handoff but then he got down to a block. There was pick and rolls in tight spaces. Everything is centered and factoring in Joel touching the ball in the offensive end.
Yep.
And the biggest part of that, the biggest thing I saw tonight is growth from Joel. He missed that one free throw and he started talking to himself. Like he was pissed off that he missed a free throw down in the crucial moments of the game. And he didn't like shrug it off like, like he would have as a younger kid. And even though he's still young, but it's the growth. It's the mentality. It's that I want to be great. Nate, completely agree with you. We need to see it more consistently, right? Because you're right. You have that game against the Nets that's a clunker, right? But those happen, but it's not an excuse. You got to overcome that to be great, and to stay great. You got to overcome those games. You had the night he dropped, didn't he drop 50 a couple weeks ago?
Did he? I don't know if he did. He drop
close. He had 45 against
45, Miami, right? But the first half of that Miami game, he looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he was disinterested in the game, and then came back, put the team on his back like he can, and and blew out the second half. So we need to see that consistently, absolutely. But I'm going to agree. He's my guy right now.
Yeah, hard not to. And that's 2 out of the last 3 games he's played, at 40 plus. So, and then anytime he shoots over 20 times or at least like 18, they don't lose.
Nope.
They just don't lose. It's like if he gets the touches and the attempt, they don't lose. There's a guy who shooting 54% from the field. I mean, that's like hinky analytic talk, right?
And it's not all inside too. It'd be one thing if it was all just post up little layups. No, he's making threes. He's doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's all variety. He's shown us he can score wherever he wants.
And he goes to the line, like the ability to go to the line 21 times and then not be a hack a Shaq situation where you're going 17 for 21 from the line. And you probably could have went. You probably should be 19 for 21 if you really want to be. We want to be critical, but like that's how good he is. That's how special he is. It's crazy. It's crazy that he's that good, and I hope he just continues to. He's got to hope he continues to grow like he has. So,
yeah. Ralph, Frank,
Ralph,
you can go. I'll go last.
All right, Lakers, Ralph. For me, I agree to the poll. I mean, just looking at what he's done so far for this team, especially in the closing moments of the game, he's been playing lights out in important moments of the game. If this was a team under Brett Brown, it would be a lot different from where we are then to now. You guys hit the nail on the head regarding with how Joel is on the court, game in and game out in every single game he has played. We know how this team plays without him, and it hasn't looked good. I hope they get it all together. I hope Seth Curry comes back. Hopefully he comes back on Friday, knock on wood. So, you know what? Let's hope he keeps doing that the rest of the season and hopefully bring home that MVP trophy. So I agree.
Yeah, he should play Friday, Frank. They said like tonight they held him because of
just for him to recondition himself after the COVID tests and whatnot.
So that's good. We got to win without him. I don't know if Tatum's gonna be back Friday or not for them. I don't know. I don't know if Tatum's back.
No, because he didn't travel for the entire trip. So I think they're staying in Philly. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're gonna have him until I think Sunday at the earliest.
Oh, that's fun. Let's go get 2 then.
Yeah. Let's steal some, huh?
Yeah, take advantage of it, baby. I don't give a rat's ass. Yep. Nobody cared about us. Nobody cared about us. We had fucking 4 dudes, and I had to call Ralphie up. I was calling people up like, yo, you guys want to play tonight? Like that's how ridiculous it was for Philly. But Boston had it, and it was like, oh my God. Shut it all down. Shut it down.
Give him a week off.
They need a month. We'll give him a couple wins too. Take your time. Ralph, your Lakers crumb. What do you say to the poll?
Wow, here we go. I want to go one way, but I'm gonna be realistic and not be a dickhead. But I'm gonna agree with this poll question.
Really?
Right now, Joel Embiid is the MVP. I mean, this dude, like you said, Tommy, or whoever said it, whenever he crosses half court, have fun trying to guard him. because 9 times out of 10 he's making a bucket on you. And it's fun to watch him play. It's fun to watch him post up somebody and just take him to school. I mean, the dude dropped 42 tonight on 19 shots. I mean, Jesus, have yourself a night. Then the other night, he drops 45 against Miami. I mean, this dude is a pimp. And outside of the NBA, he's the most fun dude to watch every time he steps on the court. So I'm gonna go agree.
Look at you! Wow, greatness can't lie. Greatness don't lie, Ralph.
Speaking of looking, look who's backstage. He's here.
Try not to.
Oh my God! Look who it is. There he is.
Hey, what's up, boys?
What up, brother?
We can actually hear you.
We can hear you. And you're not on a flip
How are
phone.
you?
We're good.
Yeah, no more. Yeah, Flipper passed away.
Oh man, what are you doing? What are you putting your phone on the floor?
I'm sitting on the floor. I'm in my daughter's room.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Hi, Lily.
Well, what the hell? She doesn't sleep in it, so I might as well make use out of it.
Hey, where are you doing a live show from? My daughter's bedroom.
Nothing wrong with that.
Have you back. But no, Ralph, 12 for 19 is efficient as shit, and it makes you unguardable.
And like you guys were saying, there's nobody as of right now that can guard him face to face, 1-on-1 down the post. And it's it's wild to see, and it's fun to see him play. But another thing too, it would have been nice to see him go up 1-on-1 against Nikola Jokic when they played the Nuggets. But unfortunately, the injury happened, and we didn't get to see that. But outside of that, the dude's been phenomenal for the Philadelphia 76ers so far.
No, I think he's eating a sandwich, but at least it looked like that. But what would you say to the poll question? Joel Embiid is the MVP of the league so far this year. Agree or disagree? And he's frozen.
Totally agree.
Oh, he's back.
And he agrees.
First, I know it's your first time, long time, but you want to elaborate on that, or
Are you gonna Marshawn Lynch it? And just say agree? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean he's obviously a huge post presence. We're a championship contender thanks to him. He's the heart and soul of this team, and as long as he stays healthy this year, I honestly see us coming out of the East.
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I mean, right now it looks like it. It looks like it when everybody else is playing, okay basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously had the best record in the East.
Yeah, it's so early though.
Yeah.
We can only judge it. We can only judge it off of what we've seen. It's gonna be a mess of a year. I mean, guys are gonna be all over the place. It's you can't lose it. You can't lose it early on, but you can. I mean, you can't win it early on, but you sure as hell can lose it early on by these types of games. Like especially if you go get 2 versus Boston. I mean, you put them in a tough spot, even though it is early. Because remember, we're only a 72-piecer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're even a little more important night in, night out, especially when you're playing back-to-back versus Boston and they're without Tatum twice, and you got a chance to beat them, to go 2-0. That's huge. And I know it's only 10 games, but it's still big. And to get an early lead, because usually, guys, that's how the NBA goes. Like, usually if a team's leading the East 30, 35 games in, they're usually winning it. Or at least first or second. You know what I mean? You don't see many teams play that good at basketball, and then all of a sudden they shit the bed over that kind of sample size. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you'll see it 10 games and then a team fade. So that 30-game marker, if we can be 1 or 2, I think it's going to be really important on where we finish if we want to be a top 3 team. And look, we're 8-1 at home. So
with no fans too.
That's another key factor.
No fans. We're 8-1 at home, which is crazy.
I don't play nobody on the road. We're 2-4 in a row. We're better. Let's not crown ourselves. We're better. But I can't have Kawhi happen to us again. Own fucking gym from here on out. I want a 1 or 2 seed. Like, I want people to have to come here and take your chances of you beating me here, right? And I think the way Joel Embiid plays here is different in a way too. Like, he's just he's a better player here, and his whole team is. And that matters to me, and it's going to matter. Sure as hell, it might not matter to us right now, but it's sure as hell going to matter to us if we want to come out of the East or just take that step, right, guys? That's what it's about. It's about, can we go to a finals, Eastern Conference Finals, and then we'll go from there.
Correct. Hey, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. It could be a possibility that before the end of the season, you do see fans in the stands, and maybe come playoff time, there may very well be 6,000 or 8,000 allowed in the gym.
Yeah, I was going to say that too as well. I think they're going to allow fans once playoffs come around. I think they're going to allow fans in at that time.
Yeah,
I think I agree with that as well.
And
even more of a reason to get.
Additionally, I think Doc Rivers, he's going to hold Joel Embiid accountable, and I think that's where you're going to see more consistency from him. And Coach Rivers, he's going to be able to get the most out of Joel, most importantly. And that's why I think he's an MVP candidate.
Well, welcome back. No, accountability was the talk.
Welcome back, baby.
Months, I feel like, from Josh Richardson's comments about accountability. So I love the word. It's used too much, but it's never used too much, if that makes sense. Right? I mean, it's about it. And when you're if you're a younger cat, you need it. In the NBA, you need it because unlike other sports, sometimes you're throwing a ton of fucking money early, a ton, and you're a baby. And remember this: we'll never experience that money in our life. Imagine seeing it at 22, right? So, you need the accountability. You need to be held to a standard, right? Right? When you're younger, because then when you turn 26, 27, 28, you now become a winner. And I want to ask you guys from over the last 2 weeks, outside of Joel Embiid, who's been your most impressive guy?
Shake Milton, by far.
God damn it! You took mine.
No, I think it's Curry.
Yeah, it's either going to be Shake or Tyrese Maxey, to be honest.
Yeah. I was just.
Are you thinking Sixers only?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sixers.
Well, Seth hasn't played the last couple weeks. That's why I was thrown off by. I thought you meant Steph. I'm sorry, Nate. I thought you meant Steph. That threw me off. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My fault. You know how it is, man. Once I start drinking the yak, words start to fumble. It's Curry for me. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, Shake Milton, I mean, God, for everything that we've said bad about Ben Simmons about not stepping up with scoring, I mean, Shake Milton's done that and then some. I mean, Shake Milton, easily a top 3 as far as 6th Man of the Year candidate, maybe number 1. The only other guy I could think of is maybe Jordan Clarkson. I'm not going to put him in the most improved category because I think that would go to Jeremy Grant or Christian Wood right now. But it doesn't even matter where he ranks in the rankings. It just matters this guy. I'm not going to call him like a special talent because I feel like special is used too often. But I'm not in a position to trade him. Like if somebody wants him in a trade package, I'm not giving him up. And that goes for Maxey.
Right, guys. He's like he's not gonna outquick you. Okay. He's not gonna do any of them things. He's learned how to score in this league. He's learned how to get to the bucket in this league. He's learned how to use his body getting to the bucket.
It's effortless. It's effortless.
And he's become smarter because you grow. This is what we talk about. You can't judge kids off year 1, 2. You got to let it grow. And he's been well coached his whole life, maybe outside of Brett Brown. So we talk about Larry Brown kid, love Larry, right? So you already know he comes with a mindset as a little puppy. You better be Pomsy, right? Well, you better be willing to be Pomsy. I'm not saying he's a great defender, but he's willing to get up in you. He has lapses like everybody else does, but he's shown he can score. And our biggest thing is scoring off our bench. It's every team's most important thing, honestly. And when you can get 16 tonight like you did, it's a difference of you winning and losing a basketball game.
And that was tonight was not a good night for him either. He actually missed a lot. That's the funny thing. To where that's probably a 16 points. It's a down game for him so far this year. And I'm not saying I expect 39 or 40 or something ridiculous from him every night. But again, and to your point, Tom, with he's been coached every year of his career except for with Brett Brown, regardless of the level. this is an indictment of Brett Brown because all Doc Rivers has done, and he said this is coming out of his mouth. He said, I'm just letting Shake be Shake. I'm not overcoaching him, which I actually took as a shot to Brett Brown. It shows all I need to know is that whatever they were doing with Shake Milton before, and maybe it's not all Brett because, like you said, Tom, it was in the first 2 years of his career. But damn.
And where he's played a total of, remember, he played a total of 60 games in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to it's hard to blame anything on Brett there, but you just have to allow a kid to develop. But he's right where he's supposed to be tonight. I mean, he averages a little over 16 a game. I mean, he was 2 for 2 for 3. That's a win. He was 4 for 10 from the field. So, I mean, that's what I expect. If he gives me anything more than that, then it's even a bigger win. But like 16 a night, efficient, 40% from the field, I'll take you. I'll take it. And I'll go to bed on it because it's important. And now Maxey was like, Maxey over 4 tonight, but rookies are going to go through that.
Yeah. The biggest thing with Shake is he's gotten confidence, right? He's grown into his role. He knows what his role is. He's gotten confidence, and that's shown in his play, right? The game doesn't seem fast to him anymore. He seems to be flowing with the game as it's going. Whatever's happening on the floor, he's involved and he's engaged. That wasn't always the case before, whether that's coaching, whether that's a kid being young. It just is what it is. He's now confident. He knows he can play in this league. He knows he can score in this league. And that's kind of what you're seeing come out of him. I'm going to go a little bit off the big names. I'm going to go Matisse Thybulle. As a guy that's been a bright spot the last couple weeks. I mean, he was in the game down the stretch tonight as a defensive, thing, as a defensive mind. Has he been playing great? No. But is he getting more minutes than I expected? And is he being productive with those minutes at one end or both ends of the floor at times? Yes. And I mean, everybody gave all the other names, so I'm just trying to provide something else.
No. Listen, it's fine. He's played minutes. Isaiah Joe would be a good name. He didn't play tonight. Furky's back and took a few of them minutes, and you're in a close dog fight too. Yep. So it's a little different. But, Furk, again, I know 20 minutes, but 7 points, 1 for 3 from 3, it's fine. It's a guy can at least score.
And a sick reverse dunk. And
that dunk was nice. That dunk.
And Tom, without those 7, you said he had 7 points tonight, Tom?
Yeah.
Without those 7 points, it's a 1-point game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shows like every point matters. So his little contribution on his first night back, it's big.
I'm gonna go with Curry, man. I think if you look at how this team started off and it started off hot, they went 7-1 with Curry in the lineup. In the one game that he was off, I just had to remind myself of his stats. He's so goddamn efficient, man.
Yep.
Like I'm looking at his stats and I'm just like, it's 50% from the field, 75% from the field, 60% from the field, 45% from the field, 72% from the field. Like he's so damn efficient. And the minutes that he plays, they went 7-1. They lost that one to Cleveland, it looks like. And guess what? He was 28% from the field in that game, and that's why they lost. I understand the other guys of how their roles, and we've seen what this team was last year. We saw Shake last year. We saw Matisse. We saw Harris. We see all these players and how they gel last year. But to me, when Curry, I'll just say Curry because I can't keep it up. When Curry went out for us, they did take a stumble there, right? Mm-hmm. They had to regroup and kind of get used to him not being on the court, and that's why to me, it's definitely Curry. He's the biggest difference maker to me for this team. He's in his back. The one thing I like about watching players and watching games, it's not just the X's and O's, whether it's football or, the scheme, the 5-on-5 and the matchups, whether it's basketball, but how smart are these guys on the court in the field and on the field? Like how smart are they to understand the situation that they're in big time moments? He's not shied away from that moment before. He makes big shots. He knows how to get his own shot as well. He's got a quick trigger. And, for me, it's a no-brainer for me. It's definitely Curry. I think other people have improved. Shake has improved, but if you look in the beginning of the year, he was still trying to find his rhythm. He was really off, couldn't find his groove. Now with Steph out, with Curry out, he's obviously found that groove. He is showing up. Harris has obviously been a proved player. We saw Harris. Harris, he was with Doc back in with the Clippers as well. So all these players are starting to gel. Like I said, it's still really early, but for me, for sure, going 7-1 with Curry in the starting lineup, that's you can't overlook that.
Oh yeah,
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, as most important outside of Joe, I would say would be Tobias, because I think he's just so underrated in his consistency and his numbers. Like night in, night out. Like you literally run through it. He's right around the same. Like every night. I mean, just run through his last 8 games. I mean, it's 22, 21, 18, 17, 19, 22, 24. It's just consistent. You know what you're getting when he laces them up. Like night in, night out. I know people don't love him here, and he's always going to get tied into the max contract. The max contract can kiss my ass because it's the only way he was staying here. Somebody else would have maxed him. So you either want to keep a guy you traded for, or let him walk and be more pissed off that we got nothing out of the deal. So you can't compare guys. You can't compare guys in the NBA like to a max. Like if you have to keep a player, like that's what you got into. But in reality, like tonight, it's a him and Joe show. Like they don't win this game without Tobias Harrison back. Had a huge bucket under a minute left in the game, a big time bucket where he posted up and Joe was on the perimeter and he took advantage, like Nate was saying, of a smart matchup. You got 3 inches on a guy, go to work, and he did, and got a bucket down low. That's the smart basketball plays that now he is now more comfortable with under Doc. And I think nothing against Seth. Like Seth's so important. Like all them new pieces, and especially vets, Danny Green, Dwight, they're all extremely important to this basketball team. But like night in, night out, Tobias is going to bring it, is going to give it to you. It's going to be the same. You know, it's going to be the similar numbers and similar stat lines. That's what makes me like not. I know people get pissed off at him and don't like him, but that's what makes me not hate him, especially if we're winning.
Winning solves everything.
Yeah, there's only one guy I think we can justifiably be pissed off with right now on this team, and we all know who it is.
Now, that's the next question I was going to ask you guys.
It's Vincent Poirier, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yes. Poirier. Very good.
Damn Cassell. No, is it him talking to 3 from the corner? Danny Green. Listen, we'll get to every name, but like Danny Green, another one. Solid night tonight. Night tonight.
Yep.
From a veteran, you need him tonight, and came to play. So Dwight, obviously, so important for Joe. Listen, I love the way it's constructed when they're all going to be here, and I love the staff. But if you have to, I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly. But you get everybody take a minute. Everybody take a minute and tell me your feelings.
Just the Ben Simmons conversation.
Yes, but I do not tell me if somebody says trade, I'm removing you from the street. Okay?
Trade him.
Frank, don't push buttons.
No, that was supposed to be a segue for me to go because it's time for me to go. So
I wasn't sure. I felt that, but I wasn't sure if you were.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the.
Well, that's like Ben going. That's like Ben going to the Frank. That's like Ben going to the bucket. Like he's indecisive. You know what I mean? So listen, you get a minute, and you can roast, you can praise. The time's yours on Ben Simmons. And again, listen, I think we can win with this team as constructed, and I stand by that. So I don't want to hear trade. I want to hear what you're seeing, what you think he can do better. I want you to give the praise on where it does go defensively, stuff like that. But time's yours. I mean, what do you see? Where do you are you concerned? Are you meh? I mean, where do you stand? I don't know. So you guys tell me. I'll go last on this one.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in. Obviously winning covers up a lot of that, and you want to see your 1B star do 1B star stuff, right? Behind Joel. The problem, and I've said this on my show, on the Money Pot podcast, and I've said it many times. I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. I'm really not. I don't like him. I've bitched and complained about him for years and years. I've said, that TRADE word that you don't want to hear. I'll spell it out.
Nate, just say the word exchange. It's fine.
Right. We'll exchange him for some asset or something.
You could be like Woj on draft night, you know?
Yeah.
You can't say they're drafting. You can just use every word for that.
But for our viewers, for the guys here, and I'll say it, and I said it last Wednesday, and I'll say it again. Like Dennis Green said in that infamous, famous media outburst that he had, he is who we think he is. He's not going to be anything else than what we think he is. So stop bitching and complaining for Ben Simmons to shoot. That is not the player he is. That's not who he's going to be. Get the fuck over it. Just get over it. He is what he is. They're getting the most, I think, out of him right now. I think he's still going to evolve. They're putting all the right pieces around him, right? I mean, he shot 1 3 and he was good, and then he shot another 3 and that shit was an air ball. And then everybody's like, "Don't shoot that shit again! Don't ever do it again." But he's a talent, right? So it's just the bet. What can we do with this talent? You have the pieces around him. You have the shooting around him now for him to go. The problem I see with him is that he has to become more cerebral in his mind and taking over the mindset of the game. When he has the ball in his hands, he has to know that they know he's not going to shoot. We saw the space that was given to him in a couple games before when he runs into the lane like a deer looking at headlights and then just doesn't know where to go, doesn't know where to throw it. You're either going to be a killer if you're not. If you're not going to be a killer, know what you're going to do. Have a plan before you're going to do it. We know what he is. This is what Ben Simmons is. Just get over it. I got over it. I can bitch about him all day. You know, we can have a whole show about just bitching about Ben. We can call it bitching about Ben Simmons.
But you know what it is, guys? Honestly, and people aren't going to like that I say this, and I'm not saying the T word or the E word or whatever. He's regressed. That's what's happened. It's not a Carson Wentz regression. It's nothing like that. But he has absolutely regressed. Now, can he come out of it? Could this end up just looking like a funk? And could he absolutely come out of it? Absolutely. But the biggest thing that pisses us all off about Ben Simmons right now, it's all under his control. It's all under his control. He's a guy that can score when he wants, can make any pass he wants, can dunk whenever he wants. I don't even give a damn about the threes. I don't give a damn about the mid-range jumpers. Now he can't make simple layups. Now he doesn't even go up for dunks. He's somehow gotten worse at the foul line. Like, come on now.
Well, he wasn't a good free throw shooter, really that good anyway.
7 to 10 tonight.
Say that again?
7 to 10 tonight.
No, I mean just career-wise.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't the best free throw shooter anyway. And it's funny you said that because I actually kind of disagree that he's regressed because I don't. What was he before this? Like, was he anything different from what you're saying?
He was way more aggressive than he is now.
I see.
He doesn't. It's like when he actually does go for the rim, he doesn't know how to put it up. He does this soft little palm shot. Like going back to his rookie year in the last couple seasons, he would at least finish strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he needs to be Giannis where he's slamming everything and screaming.
Yeah, he was dunk and layups.
Yeah, but now it's these little friggin' finesse little shots. It's always going off it's the simple shots.
I said this last week, bro. What did I say? He's awkwardly athletic.
Yes.
Like he has no post fucking moves.
Yes.
As athletic and as big he is, when he gets in the post and he gets with his back, if I was Sam, I would work with him on the post. Nobody should be able to really guard him in the post. Now it's tough because you can clog the lane. Do you really want Embiid outside of that as a kick out shooter? You really don't want that. But he's 6'10", right? There's no other guards that are really that big. So you're going to cause matchup problems. And if he can show that he can do something in the post, he'll be able to quarterback, see over everybody, and pass out the ball. Can
I say something to you guys real quick?
Shoot.
And then you guys can just page me, okay? You guys can just page me. When you guys are done making up a bunch of stuff in your head, somebody just page me and let me know when all you guys are done. Because I got a lot for you. So just page me in. Because I've done a lot of talking like second show, blah, 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 blah. Just page me in. Because I want to talk to you guys about regression. We're gonna have a regression conversation, and we're gonna have what our eyes tell us in certain situations, which are absolutely factual, and then we're gonna have what numbers are. So
Well, bring your ass on. You ain't gonna call nobody out on the show. Bring your ass on. I don't think he's regressed. I think he's the same thing that we've always seen.
Well, that's not numbers true though. Like that's the point though. Like it's not numbers true. Every bit of his numbers outside of points are up this year. Every bit of them. So where's the regression? Regression are in points. But remember, how many more scorers are on the floor now? Now, was there games where nobody was around, where we got pissed off at him and I was right there with you? Abso-fucking-lutely, right? Couldn't agree more in those games, right? But remember something. He's a pass-first guy. It's just what he is, right? So if we're expecting 25 from him, we shouldn't. But can we expect other things to get better? He pisses me off just as much as he pisses you guys off. Let me make sure that's clear, right? But in context, he pisses me off when nobody else is there and I need him. But in reality, you would expect in the playoffs the rest of your guys to be there where he can be who he is. Listen, his free throws up this year, okay? They are at.
What is his career numbers? I wonder what that is. What is he?
Tom,
what is he, like a 15, 9, and 8 guy?
Tom, the two biggest numbers, if you have it in front of you, the two biggest numbers I need are the field goal percentage and the turnovers.
Listen, the field goal percentage is down, right? And that's 50% right now.
Yeah, but he's not a shooter, though. He's taking layups and fucking dunks.
But he's not making those, Nate. That's the point. He's not even making those.
I just want to be clear. Like, I've crushed him this year. Like, there's no running from that. Okay? I've crushed the non-aggressiveness. I crushed the bullshit. Okay? And I will continue to do that. All I'm defending right now is the regression talk. Because, yes, in points, there's regression. He's not shot the ball well. Now, remember, he shot more threes than he fucking ever has, I feel like. But that's
what is he at, 2?
But the reality is he hasn't finished. He's not finished at the rim this year. There's no running from that. Okay? Yep. But his free throws are better. All right? They're up. It's up to 63%, and not saying a lot, I think from 62, but it's still up. Like, right? And 2 big ones in the stretch tonight. So just like they're the ones that always have mattered to me. Can you hit 2 big ones down the stretch? If a team fouls you, whatever, on purpose, etc. Like the little things.
So I'm looking at it now.
Rebounds. He's even on assist. He is up on turnovers. So he's up on turnovers.
He's averaging. I'm looking at his stats now. So he's averaging 12, 9, and 8.
TTP got it. He has the perfect summary. He said he's averaging 4 to 5 less points, less shot attempts, more turnovers, less steals. His free throws are up 1%. His field goal is down 8%.
It's a half a steal a game right now. Like, TTP, I love you, but it's a half a steal a game. Like, I mean, I understand it, but like I've been critical of him. But we sat here earlier and talked about early in the year. But shouldn't we wait a little bit more of a sample size this year to see if some of the things start to click and finish for him?
Oh, yeah, that's why I said it could end up just being a funk. I'm
talking to the trade, not you guys as much, the trade people out there. Right? I'm more talking to them people. Like, Ben Simmons drives me insane at times because he's so talented. Insane. But again, I'm not making an excuse. He's 23 still.
Well, people still talking trade.
Shake Milton's older than Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
A year older than Ben Simmons. Just everything. Let's be clear about everything. Not that he should be better than Shake. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but like, remember,
he's better than Shake, though.
I was just saying he is better than Shake.
He is better.
I've been a complete hater of Ben, but he's a better player than Shake.
I mean, you've done shows about him, and I've crushed him for the lack of aggressiveness when it's just him and Joe. Like, wake up, bro! Now I need you to shoot 20 times. I'm sorry, but I'm starting to just be on the Nate side of it. Like, this is who he is, but like, take this stuff he does really good, and just say, can that continue to get better? Can you give me 16, 17 a night? That's all we ask. 15 to 17. I got enough scoring on this team, right? That I can still get to where I want to get to if you're giving me 9 boards and 8 assists every night. Because that's the consistency. That's the part where draws me to him all the time. Because if you watch him, he gets guys open fucking looks all the time.
Mm-hmm. I think the most frustrating thing for me, again, it's not even about the points, because I'm not even going into games thinking, hey, is he gonna score 20 points? No, that ship has sailed. It's that over the last handful of weeks, especially the games where Embiid has either not been there or he's had those, the one game against the Nets where he just didn't have it that night. You look at the situation where it's like, okay, well, Step up. And he didn't. It's not even the step up thing. It's that he's actually hurt the team. He's had a handful of games where he has hurt them, whether it's a bad pass, whether it's turnovers, whether it's not finishing at the line. That's, you know what I'm saying, to where you've come out of games saying, if Simmons just is a non-factor, we win, let alone if he was a positive factor. Like I said, I don't give a damn about the shooting anymore because I'm not there yet. I'll start worrying about that when he actually has a presence at the friggin' foul line or making a friggin' layup. I got to get to that point first. But he's had a handful of games where he has hurt this team, which I have never been able to say before in past years.
Celtics, though. Tonight's the Celtics, and all I hear about it is like, oh, he blah, 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 with the Celtics with him, right? That's all we always hear. I'm saying he went to the line 10 times in Now, like, is that what I like when they go more than that? Sure. Where he only shot 5 times, but he went to the line 7 times or 10 times tonight, and he was 7 for 10. So, like, that's the difference of winning and losing, too. Like, but listen, the criticism of him is completely fair, and the rest of you guys go. I just wanted to jump in because I agree with the criticisms, and it's not like rightfully so. But let's be fair on all accounts. Like he is up some things, and he is down some things, right? And how many games are we in now, right? You know what I mean? We're 15 games into the season.
It's something like that. Yeah,
it's like if we judge it every 15, it's not where we want him to be, and that's rightfully so. And if you want to be pissed at him right now, you have every right to be, because I get mad at him more than anybody. All right, he's my crumb of the day more than he should be. But
he should be crumb of the day every week.
This team goes as Joel Embiid goes. So that doesn't mean I don't give a rat's ass about Ben, but Ben and Tobias just got to be them. You two just be you, and let Joe go to work. And I expect Seth, Danny Green, other guys, and I think this team's has enough scoring where I don't need this guy in this spot dropping 25. We only need him doing that when guys are missing.
It's, you know what, it's and you and Nate are not wrong, or anybody who says this. You guys,
I like hearing that when you guys keep saying Nate's not wrong. I agree with Nate. Make sure you put that as a banner, okay, Tom? I'm taking over this motherfucking show.
I'll make it into a ringtone and send it to you, Nate. I'll make it into a little ringtone.
My man.
But no, like you guys, when you guys say,
shut up, Ryan, this guy hasn't given me credit one Saturday morning. Not one Saturday morning.
Never.
I'm like, I'm freaking out for 1,000 on the Money Pop podcast.
That's what happens when you come on the show, bro.
I had to do a new read today, so I totally forgot like intros and all that fun stuff. So
it's all good.
That's what happened,
man. Let's go.
Script on me after a year. You know
we don't need a script. Remember,
I don't, but my muscle memory's fucked. Nobody can run for muscle memory. That's a real thing. I'm just saying. Hey, brought to you by over and over and over again. You get an old rhythm, babe. Now I'm like Ben Simmons, the new offense. You know what I mean?
A lot of excuses.
A
lot of
excuses, man.
You might need to bring Sam
back to back.
Tom, have you regressed? Tom, you've regressed from last year. You've regressed.
Hey, how do you regress by playing doubleheader tonight, baby? Because there ain't nobody in the country of radio going doubleheaders.
Now we got a question. No, Nate's questioning your conditioning now. We're giving you the Joel Embiid.
You've regressed, buddy.
The guy played 2 in a row.
Yeah. You can't handle back-to-back, so we got to put you on a minute restriction.
Load management. Take him out. Take him out, Doc.
Yeah, minutes restriction. But no, when you guys say that, like, you've come –
it's the treadmill, Tommy.
Yep. You got to put it in the studio, Tom. There's a lot of room for activities in there.
My man, Sweeps don't even know who the fuck you are, Noah.
What happened?
He's like, who's the other guy? Like he knew Nate, he didn't even know you no more. That's how long you've been going for. Shit. Welcome back, baby. I love you. I fucking love you. Manny, what's up, Manny?
Good
Listen,
to be here.
Comments, because you guys are flying in. We get talking, we get excited. Noah's got to go. Greg, Ralph, I think Nate, and Rye, we've hammered this issue home. So if you three, air it out if you need to.
Well, go ahead, Noah. Go ahead.
Got to work together. Got to work together over there.
As far as Simmons go, look, he's a point guard. More to your point, look, we don't need 25 or 30 a night from him. We need him to distribute the ball, find the open man, not turn the ball over, and play great defense. If he does that, I think the rest kind of takes care of itself.
You're right.
Wow. And another thing too, going with Ben Simmons right now. I mean, he's under the giant biggest spotlight you can find right now in the city of Philadelphia, and it's on him. I mean, we all know the whole thing with Harden. Do you put him in the package? Do you move him now?
Yes.
And stuff like that. So I mean, now it's post Harden trade. The trade is done.
He said package and trade. He said package and trade.
I'm going to say it anyway, okay? But the trade is done with Harden, but now the spotlight's on Ben, because now it seems like every single night when he steps to court as a whole fan base or an organization, you got to now prove why didn't we put you, or prove why you shouldn't be in that trade for James Harden. So now go prove to me, why we kept you and why we said no to that offer that the Rockets were offering or wanted back. So I think there's a huge spotlight on Ben Simmons right now.
Max, remember, because it wasn't just Ben going, So I know we're all going to be about Ben.
Yeah, but I understand that Max.
You're right. No.
But you have a guy that's been in the league for 4 years that has been there and done it, and now your name's floating around in trades. You don't get traded, and now I just think the spotlight is just really, really on him now to prove why he should, why he's still on this team.
Yeah, he's the narrative with him is he's the guy that could have been Harden. Everyone now, whether it's justified or not, because I think even as much as I'm not a Ben Simmons guy right now, I even think some people comparing him to Harden right now is ridiculous, because he was never going to be James Harden.
And that's another thing too, right? Just like an example, like if he has a bad night, right? He only ends up with 9, and then people go look at Harden's and he's got 35, 50. 37, and you're sitting there like, damn.
We could have had 50.
We could have had this, We could have had this and trade Thibault and trade Maxey, and we could have had James Harden, and everything would have been cool and dandy. But right now, for Ben Simmons,
great. Harden has 30. Great. So Harden can drop 35. How many rings does he have? What has he done in playoff time?
No, I understand that.
Ask Houston.
No, I understand. I understand that point. I'm just.
I will say this, and I've said this on my show, and I think I said it last week, and I'll say it again. And you can quote me on this. We will not win a championship here in Philadelphia with the 76ers with Ben Simmons on this team. I don't think so.
He's got to play better. He's got to play better than this.
I don't think it's going. It's not. It's just. It looked like they're forcing it to make it work. They're putting around all the right pieces, but we'll never win a championship with Ben Simmons on this team. I would have pulled the trigger on that deal. Would have pulled the trade.
Same thing, Nate. I agree. Greg?
And Nate, you may very well be right, but I don't think James Harden's winning one anytime soon.
I think and we talked about this before. I think Brooklyn gets to the finals. I don't think they have enough to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
But I think they can get to the finals. Everybody was all crazy because they took the Cavs went to overtime. Hold on, Tom. Now stop. I know you really want to jump in here with this Brooklyn talk. I see you.
23-year-old's never going to win. You got crystal balls now. Crystal ball.
You were so hot. Your mouth was moving, but there was nothing coming out your mouth. That's what I saw on the screen. That's what I saw. You were ready to go. You threw your voice through the internet. But Brooklyn, people need to understand. You have to understand basketball, right? We're all fans. Some of us know more than others. I'm not saying I'm a basketball guru or connoisseur, but what I do know and what I will share is that basketball, it takes time for these guys to understand. You have 3 dominant ball players on that Brooklyn team. Kyrie just showed up and started jacking 20. He jacked 20 shots out of nowhere, and Harden was used to having the ball in his hand. So they're going to take time to get used to. KD and Harden work because they know how to play together. Now, they were boys, younger men when they played in OKC, but they have that familiarity with them. They were together for a couple of years there, I think 5 or 6 years there. So it's going to take time for all these players to mesh. Brooklyn's going to be fine. Once they're all clicking, it's going to be ugly. You're not going to. They're going to drop 130 a night.
Well, I don't disagree with you, Nate. But here's the funny thing, and then Greg, I'll go to you real quick. I believe right now, and I think this is going to be, stay true. And I'm not saying, they can't lose on a random night to another team. But I think in a 7-game series, there's one team that I think has a really good shot to beat them in a 7-game series. You know what team that is?
I'm thinking, and I want to say Miami.
Nope.
But I'm not sure.
Ralph, Greg, any guesses?
In the East or as a whole?
No, in the East. No, I mean, there's teams out west that can beat them in a 7-game.
Sixers.
It's the Sixers. It's because of Joel.
It's bigger than that too, though. It's not just Joel. It's the fact that it's the fact that I know he doesn't.
Who's guarding Harden? Who can guard Harden on the Sixers, and who can guard Durant?
Who's going Joe?
Corey.
First off,
I'll let Joe score 50 as long as nobody else scores. I don't care if Joel scores.
Danny Green, very good defender.
Against who?
Probably against Harden. Okay.
That's barbecue chicken, dog.
but listen,
that's barbecue chicken.
I'm just telling you, maybe, or you know what, or Tobias goes. I don't think Tobias goes Harden. Tobias probably.
Hell no.
Nah.
Hell no. There's nobody on the Sixers who could guard Harden. There's not a lot of people in the league who can guard Harden. Let's be that honest.
Well, let's be honest too, though. We have two really good perimeter defenders in Ben and Danny. Let's not run from it, though. We can't act like it's not.
Oh no. I don't want to run from it. I mean, you're gonna put probably Ben on on Durant, but just because of the size and the length and the height.
Then where's the bias go? Who's the bias cover? That's the question.
They create so much matchup problems.
Harris.
That's what I'm saying. You can't you can put your best defender on Durant in Brooklyn, and between Harden and Kyrie. Once they figure that out, that's going to be nasty to stop, man.
No, of course. I'm not that shit at all. I'm saying that we have Ben can. I'm not saying slow down. I'm not saying stop Harden, but you don't stop greatness, right? I mean, Durant.
Facts.
You don't stop greatness, but can he slow him? He absolutely can slow him. He can make him work for everything, and that's the difference. Not many guys have the length and the athletic ability to make his ass work. Can Ben make Kyrie work too? I don't know. I think Ben's fast, but Kyrie seems to be that's too quick for me. And
they probably just because
they would switch that. Yeah, there was no way they would leave Kyrie on Ben.
Well,
but you know what? They actually might, because it's not like Ben is going to do anything with the fucking rock.
Your target.
You know what I mean? If you think about it from a defensive perspective, especially we know the mindset of Ben. Now he's going to see Kyrie on him, and maybe he might back him down. But if I'm Kyrie, I give him that shot. Yep. Right? It's a low percentage shot to me. You know what I mean? If he's fit, and Ben doesn't take when he has his back to the basket, Ben is not turning around or doing any type of moves. He's typically fading away with a jump shot.
Nate, thank you for
fade away.
Nate, he was going up against a 6'1" guy the other night, Ben Simmons, and he passed the ball off. I almost threw the TV through the window. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you have 10 inches on him.
So if you think about it, put Kyrie on him. That's a wash.
We create the same mismatches in a different way, though. That's what everybody's forgetting. The bias becomes a mismatch. Who's covering him at the 4? Who on there's covering him at the 4? Because you create a mismatch there. Now that guy's got to work, because he's got to work because the bias is going to work, right?
You put Durant on him.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, but now Durant's got to work big time on the defense end at the 4.
You think so?
He does, because the bias is at least going to work, going to try to create shots.
We are talking.
It's going to be tough with his length. Durant's length is crazy, dog.
Creates big time problems for him. You're right, but now there's other mismatches on the floor, because if you're now going that route, now becomes the emphasis on Ben, because who's covering him? Could he still create the size issue?
No, he does. No, I completely agree. The thing is just that what we've seen before, and I think Boston exploited it in the playoffs the one year. They'll double Embiid, and they'll let Ben they'll give Ben the lane. Mm-hmm. We've seen it in the playoffs. They'll give Ben the lane, and they'll give Ben space to shoot. And if he shoots it, he shoots it. If he makes it, he make it. They'll be okay with that, because they know that's not what he is, right? So it's really become on the defensive end. It comes 5-on-4 at that point.
I agree with Moose. I agree with Demetrius. I mean, I think Seth becomes a mismatch problem for them. We have we have the same, like, if you look at the scoring, right, from their 5 to our 5, and to say that our 5 can't score with them, it's crazy. Now, who's got a better bench? That's the conversation. Like, our 5.
Yeah, the bench is going to come up. The bench is going to come up, but I think with those 3 stars, there's never going to be a time where not one of them's on the floor. That's the thing.
Fair, but you still need bench scoring. Tonight they had none.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you do. You do.
My question to you guys is, our 5, if you just look at it, right, and Greg still got to go. Shit, but we get so excited. But like,
we get all under control. It's good.
So much fun. But like, our 5 can score with them, right? Like, if you look at it, Joel, the bias, they're going to give you. I mean, they're going to give you. They're going to score theirs night in, night out. All right. Seth is going to score. So now, where's your other scoring from? Danny, out of your starting 5, Danny and Ben, right? They become important. Now, bench wise, you know, Shake's going to score. Tyree's coming off the bench, gives you another guy who can score, right? You're talking about, you bring Dwight off the bench, creates another problem for them size wise, and it does big time. And we don't have to. Right? So, like, we create size issues on them, right? And then we're not even talking about, we just talked about a few guys off the bench, right? We have, like, we can score off our bench tonight. If they get 7 from Joe Harris, they're in fucking trouble. It's that if they go, nobody wants to hear it. They go with Joe Harris goes. I'm going to make clear to everybody. They ain't winning shit unless they get a 4 scorer in there. They just aren't. Like, them 3 are freaking unstoppable. But who else is going to score? Like, even if they give you 40 a night, that's 120. You think they're going to give you 40 a piece a night? I don't know. I mean, that's asking a lot.
You know what? I forgot. I'm looking at their team right now, and you're completely right with the bench, because you got people with 50, 48 minutes, and, you know, the stars really play. But you know what I forgot that's on that team is Jeff Green. Yeah, I forgot they had Jeff Green. So you don't have to put Kyrie on Ben. You could put Jeff Green on Ben.
Is he starting for them, though?
He is. He's their 4. He's their 4. So it's Kyrie at the 1, Harden at the 2, Durant at the 3, and then Jeff Green at the 4, and then, you know, DeAndre Jordan. And then they got Harris coming off the bench. They got what's the boy that was here? Lewithi Carbo.
TLC.
Oh, TLC.
Yeah, TLC. And then they have Shaman over there who gives them some scoring. Dinwiddie is out for the year, right? I think he was.
He's done for the year. Yeah.
Now, 16 to 13 a night from DeAndre Jordan and Jeff Green, it's a different conversation. Now, do I think DeAndre Jordan gives you 13 and goes 6 or 7 with Joel Embiid and Dwight Howard roaming around? Probably not, right?
No, he's gonna give him work. Joel will give Jordan work at this point. That's a mismatch. That's a mismatch for us.
So Seth would probably have to cover Kyrie. Okay.
Yeah. It would be Seth and Kyrie. You put Jeff Green on Ben Simmons, or you could put Durant and then put Green on Harris. You could kind of match that.
I put Green on Harden, and I put Ben on Durant, and I put the bias on Jeff Green, and that's how I go about it. Until I make James Harden just eat Danny Green alive, then, because I'd rather let James go to work, because Durant will kill me. If I let somebody let him kill, like, he will snipe me out the gym, and he has proven he can win. I don't care who the fuck he won with. He still proved he can win.
Let me ask you this question, Tom, and I completely agree with you. But can you say that about Harden? Isn't Harden going to kill you? Harden's going to kill you too.
He ain't going to beat me though, because he don't beat nobody in the playoffs. Like I said. Durant has, Kyrie has. I gotta stop them 2 asses. I gotta not stop them. I gotta figure out a way to slow Kyrie and KD down, because when they get hot, it's a different hot, right? Like, when Kyrie and KD get hot, they don't fucking miss. When Harden's like never really, like, I don't want to say he's ever hot. He's just consistent, right? Like, he just walks into his numbers every night. So
regular season consistent.
As soon as he starts, when he really kills you is when he goes to the line a ton. You know, when he gets in that phase where every damn possession he's at the line, it's like, okay, we're not stopping this guy.
Yeah. He is a line junkie, which is going to use his body great. But like the other 2, I scare me. Like them getting Harden scared me, because it's a three piece nugget. But the other 2 really.
I love nuggets.
As soon as Kevin Durant became healthy, I said, like, they're a playoff team just win by themselves.
That was a great sound drop, by the way. That was a great fucking sound. Whoever said that, I don't know where it came from, but it was a great sound drop. It sounded like somebody drunk.
Tom, here's the only thing that can move the needle with their bench. And like we said, we got to see what it's like in a shortened season. The buyout market. because we know, like we saw with the Lakers and the Clippers, the Brooklyn's going to be a destination for these buyout guys to go and sign
sure.
with. So their bench could get better quick.
Could ours? Or does ours need to? It's going to be interesting. We got a long.
We need another 4. We need a backup 4. If we can get a backup 4, we're I don't want to say we're set, but we're good. I'm comfortable. We have our scores. Scores off the bench. We need one more big 4. That's it.
You think we need another big?
We need a Mike Scott replacement. Somebody to play the backup 4 behind Tobias.
Just PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
PJ Tucker would be a good name.
I mean, I don't think he's doing
A
shit.
great name.
Nah, he's not a big. Hey, good change of scenery though.
Yeah, he plays big. I could see him following Brooklyn though.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that would follow
Harden.
Yep,
for
and
sure.
The coach too.
With him. Makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
Lose a little more. Greg, what was your Ben?
Yeah, so my Ben, and I completely agree with everybody. He's as frustrating as it can be, but I'd rather, and this is me, I'm probably one of the only Ben fans left that's willing to defend him at any given time, but he is frustrating. I will admit that. I would rather be in the boat of we held on to Ben too long than to give up on him.
Yeah, he's way too young to give up.
I'd rather see his whole career go and be like, damn, we wasted that. We wasted that trade chip. We wasted this. We wasted that. I would rather us be in that boat of we wasted Ben Simmons and any trade value he had than to trade him just because it didn't fit what we were trying to do at that time. Right? We got new coaches, a new voice, a new locker room, all these veterans, Nate, as you said, they tried to build around Ben, and then 15 games in, we're not going to give it time to permeate. Right, Nate, you even said it as well. The NBA takes time, right? Sam Cassell and Doc Rivers and all these guys that we brought in that's supposed to be this great coaching staff, sure, is not going to change Ben Simmons in 15 games. There's no question about it. But I think we need him. I think we can win with him. Does he frustrate the hell out of you all nights? Yes. Absolutely, but I'd rather him be ours than for us to give up.
I just want to say on Wednesdays, for everybody who's on late night, whenever they say they agree with Nate, drop $1 in the super chat. Let's go. Let's fucking go. As soon as they say, I agree with you, Nate, drop $1 in the super chat.
Oh, you agree with the same guy? I just want to confirm something real quick. You just agree with the same guy who promised you he would never win here. But you didn't. Time's yours, guys. No, but you're right, Greg.
Thanks, Andy.
You don't want to give up on him too soon.
Yeah, no, he's too young. He's way too young to give up to him soon. Like I said, if you would have pulled the trigger for Harden, I would have been okay with that. It would have been a lot. It would have been. I would have tried my best to keep Maxey, but if it was Ben, a first round pick. Matisse and maybe even somebody else, or if it even was Maxey. If you couldn't keep Maxey, they wanted Maxey in the deal. You're talking about a generation star. You know what I mean? Harden.
That I'm not trading 19 and 23 when my window.
Are you serious?
Nate, my window to win isn't tomorrow. Like my window to win is over the next 4 or 5 years.
If you take those two guys off the team and you put James Harden on this team, the way this team is constructed, who's stopping us in the East?
They're unguardable.
It's not going to be like fun for anybody.
Joel Embiid's unguardable by himself.
Yeah, but you need it's a team game. It's a team game. You put Harden on this team. You take Maxey. You take Thibault. You take Ben. You take them all away. You give them another first-round pick. They're going to the finals. They are going to the finals.
We just spent all this. We just spent this whole offseason.
Oh no, battery exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted because he's missing the point. You all said that he don't get it done in the postseason. So, like, what makes us all think that he's going to come here and get it done in the postseason? Regular season's all gravy. That's great, okay? But now I'm trading two guys that are puppies for a 31-year-old who's never won in the postseason. Now all of a sudden he's going to win. No,
he ain't never have nobody like Embiid on the team.
And nobody has. So that's the thing. I feel like Joel Embiid. I can grow players around Joel Embiid. I can grow young talent around Joel Embiid and not strap myself to just two guys where I can actually have a legit roster. That's how you got to win in this league.
You don't think you have a roster with Harden on this team?
I think your roster gets decimated big time. Even if you just give up them two, you're hurt. You're already just hurt. You're already hurt.
To the Nets. I mean, we already see it with the Nets, right? You're already trying to find bench scoring because they had to give up half their bench.
Yeah, but that was their trade, Greg. Our trade wouldn't involve 5-6 players.
Yeah, we wouldn't do all
no,
that.
but I'm still saying we're giving up on our last two first-round picks, right? We just spent this whole offseason trying to build around our two stars in Joel and Ben, and then we're going to go out and throw it all away for a 31-year-old guy who's never won the playoffs? Sorry, I'm out.
For one of the best for one of the best scorers in the game, somebody who is a perfect combination with Joel Embiid, absolutely.
But that's why I think it's unfair, though. You guys just this is what's wrong with this city, and this is why y'all gonna be my crime of the day tomorrow.
Sure, but
you guys are gonna be my crime of the day tomorrow. Not you guys specifically, but the trade people right now. Like even for that deal, we were 7-1 before COVID hit us. Like this team was rocking and rolling together. Nobody passed the basketball more than we did. We created open shots for each other. We were unselfish. That's what wins in this league. Okay, Golden State was all great and gravy, but they were unselfish together. Can this team be unselfish? The Nets, I don't know. If Harden comes here, is he going to be unselfish? Yeah, I mean, his assist numbers say he is, right? But at the end of the day, this team was moving the basketball. And just to run from that this early on, when all we were begging for is accountability, it to me makes us fraudulent at times as a fan base. And I say that with all due respect because I don't mean that personally. I mean that this is what's wrong with us. We're always looking to be a freaking, like we're playing a video game. Like we don't always have to rush for the first thing that comes up. Like we can win. Like we can win as constructed. Like why can't we give that a chance? Like we didn't even give this new roster a chance. And his coaching staff were like, trade Ben, he's done. But I get it. It's Harden. I get it. It's an exciting name. I understand it. There's a lure to it. There's excitement behind it. I don't take anything away from Harden's scoring and his abilities. One of the all-time great scorers. Like he just scores. But in the postseason, he doesn't. And that's the difference maker. And he's proven that. We talk about trends here. The trend is he can't win the postseason. And every great player wins in the postseason. Durant won more with nobody compared to what Harden did in the postseason. Right? Let's not forget that. We just automatically, because the guy.
Where did Durant win with nobody?
Yeah,
he went further with nothing. If you think about it.
Who's nothing?
Yeah, what's nothing?
What you guys him and Westbrook went to a finals.
Westbrook is nothing? You think Westbrook is nothing?
Compared to what the teams were? Compared to what other teams are
rocking? Yeah, right, dog. You're crazy. Westbrook is a beast.
In the West, back there, it was just him and Westbrook. I'm not taking anything away. Hold on. I'm the same guy
who was the center, too. Don't forget about the center.
Ibaka.
Yeah.
My point. Look at. Hold on. I just want to confirm something with you. The same Russell Westbrook that James Harden just fucking had. We run from shit. We can't have it both ways. Like he just had them and couldn't win shit with them. They didn't work because Durant's such a pimp. It doesn't matter who he plays with. He's going to win games. That's the difference in the two. I'm not taking anything away from Harden. I'll trade Ben for the right move. I said this a million times. If it's a Bradley Beal type that's younger, I think I got to pull a trigger, right? I don't run from stupid trades. You know what I mean? But that one didn't do it for me. And I understand why it did for some people. And the assume that Harden and Joe would be great together. Well, Harden's always fucking out of shape. So we want that around? Let's talk about the stuff. Let's talk about the special things he does, but let's also talk about the other things. Okay? We got to factor that into winning. There's a reason
you're talking about the other things like Harden doesn't do?
No, the other things of not showing up, playing with numerous different good players on that team. Let's not act like Houston didn't have good players. Eric Gordon drops 20 a night. They've had scorers around him. They tried
but Mike D'Antoni's system is completely different from Doc's, man. You got to factor that in too with the coaching and just the construction around Harden. So, like I said, if they came back around, I definitely would pull the trigger. I think everything that we complain about this team, everything that we look for, what we need as a team, ends up being all to the same thing. We need another scorer. We need more scoring. We need somebody who you can give the ball to and get a bucket, right? You don't have anybody on this team besides Embiid, even as it's constructed now. You can't give anybody the ball and say, go get me a bucket when you need it in crunch time outside of Embiid. That's what this team is missing.
I don't think it's entirely true.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys that can get their own bucket.
Who?
We already said Seth Green can get his own bucket. Tobias Harris, Fruzy can get his own bucket, but he's not stepping on the end line.
And
there's a lot of guys that can get their own
all
bucket.
those guys are role players. Those guys have never been stars. And when the lights are brightest, when it's time to go really get a bucket. So, Curry's coming to his own, but he's always been a role player, whether it's been Portland, whether it's been Dallas. And Danny Green, the same way, role player. Tobias Harris gets paid like number 2, role player.
You need those guys.
I'm not saying you don't, but what I'm saying, who's getting the ball when you're down by 1 and you got 20 seconds on the clock?
The guy we started
giving the ball to Embiid.
The guy we started the show with, Nate. That's why he's in the MVP category, because he gets the bucket. I'm tired of people talking about there ain't a closer here. I don't know where this came from. The closer's the big dog. I can't. I love you guys. I understand the Harden. I get it. But we were 7-1. This team can win. Ben drives me crazy. What? But I'm going to stand by this. Like, can we give it a year together? And then next year, if we don't like what we see at the end of this year as a team, then let's have the conversation. Let's literally sit down and have the conversation a million times if we all want to, because I'm on board. If we don't get to an Eastern Conference final like we need to, then I'm on board to having conversations. But let's see if he can get better with Doc. I'm not saying he will. I don't know, okay? But, I am not ready to, change up something that looked good, right? That's all I'm saying. I don't disagree with, Harden and A, B, C, and D. He's a great scorer, but let's give these guys a chance. I'll say it again, and Paulie agreed on it. I know you guys do too. There's a reason Doc and Darryl came here. It was for them two. Let's let them enjoy them two for a half a minute before us as a fan base to say, oh, you got Ben, you're not scoring 25 a night, even though we all agree we need more, right? But instead of pushing them out the door, let's give it. We asked for these guys. We asked for a new organization. We asked for real basketball people, and we got them. And 15 games in, we're done with Simmons. Not saying you guys. I'm saying I'm in a lot of groups, right? And I see a lot of posts. So don't think I'm talking to you guys, because I agree with everything you're saying in terms of, Harden and B will be filthy together. Nobody can run from that. But what I'm saying is, so can these two. We all waited for these two, and we finally got rid of Brett Brown and bad basketball people and brought in good people, great assistant coaches, and now we're like, Ben's done. Let's give him a minute. Remember, Joe went through so many.
Yeah, but how many more years are you letting Ben grow, though, to the point where Joel's taking bigger steps than Ben, but Ben is taking he's backing off a little bit, though, right?
The excuse was all Brett Brown. The excuse was all Brett Brown before. So now we're 15 games into a new regime, and that's enough.
He's still doing the same thing, though.
I understand. Right? I get that, but he's still 24. I'll still rather be in the camp of I waited too long than I never gave it a chance.
Absolutely.
I said this year, you know what I mean?
If you guys, if something happens, you get bounced in the second round, then the questions start coming up. Listen, man, maybe it's just time this isn't working out and we split you guys up.
Rightfully so.
His trade value will be down by then, though.
His trade value across the league is never going to dip.
I disagree with that, Nate. I think his trade value is still going to be high, no matter if you get bounced in the second round or make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and you guys get bounced there, and then you trade him in the offseason.
If he's the reason that we got bounced, if the center and the media and they all pump it up like Ben just didn't come through, you think his trade value would still be the same?
Yep,
absolutely. Because I think
he's too young and too talented.
I think any team in the NBA is willing to give up picks and multiple players for Ben Simmons, no matter what happens, just because he's 24 and he still has room to grow.
TJ.
And there's always going to be a coach out there. Sorry, Tom. There's always going to be a coach out there, like we always say with Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah.
Sean Payton's come out. I can fix him. There's always going to be that.
And TJ, I get it. Jaylon Brown's my guy, first off. But Ingram, yes, better score, obviously. Jaylon Brown, better. Yeah, I mean, definitely. But, like, there's also things that Ben does tremendously better than them two, too. So, I know it doesn't always show up in the scoring side of things, but, like, he has the ability to be better than both of them. And I know that's a far-fetched thing to say. And it's like, you could say it's
I don't think it's far-fetched.
And another thing, too, between those two guys shot tremendously in college. So coming into the draft, you knew they were shooters. Now, that was the big difference between Ben that, coming into the league with Ben is that he really didn't shoot the ball at all, or even only maybe took, 3 shots a game. He was more of a passing point guard. That's why the comparisons there were with Magic Johnson. But you knew with Brandon Ingram and Jaylon Brown that they were taking shots every single night, unlike Ben Simmons.
Well, yeah, I think what people need to realize too, all the trade Ben Simmons people, like all the trade needs to happen now. It's not happening this year. They're not going to trade him. If they were going to trade him, it would have happened 2 weeks ago, last week. That was the trade that would have happened. I pushed them into okay, it's happening now. You hear reports. You hear Doc Rivers say it himself. I believe it was yesterday. Hey, when they talk about the relationship between Daryl and Doc, Daryl's gone to him numerous times just so far this season and say, hey, here's a trade scenario here. What do you think a majority of those trade scenarios was, especially the last couple of weeks? Let's do it, Ben Simmons. Why do you think Doc's going to bat for him so many times saying, I don't care about his scoring right now. I don't care about his shooting. Because he has no plans on getting rid of the guy. So as much as I'm pissed off with him, they're not trading him this year unless something crazy happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless a Bradley Beal magically becomes available, there's nothing on the table this year for me to think, hey, Simmons is is not going to be here by the trade deadline. No. If something goes crazy and we get dropped in the first couple rounds, then to Tom's point, we have that conversation again more realistically. But anyone expecting a big splash move as far as Ben Simmons being gone, I just don't think that's in the cards right now.
Yeah, Bill's not coming here. I think Bill goes to like somebody like a contender, like Miami, Atlanta. Milwaukee, the Lakers. Like he's going to go somewhere like there.
Listen, and I just think that like I said, I just give him. I mean, you can't keep saying time, right? Because that drives people crazy. I understand.
Give him the full year, like you said. Give him the full year sample size. If you can't, we can't. It can't be the what could have happened thing if we give him the full year. If we look back on this year with a full year of this system with Joel Embiid and surrounding by shooters, and if he does not live up to expectations, then we're giving, at least we could say we gave him a full season sample size.
Yeah, you look at OKC back in the day. You think they would have liked to not give up on all them guys? You know what I mean? And kept that group together. So, now I know
one more year of Harden for sure.
Yeah, I know it's different, but it's the same in a way. Like we were talking about, guys getting better and as they get older, and this could be just a feeling out process for him too, because the problem is he's too fucking unselfish. And part of that maybe is him not trusting his offensive game as much. But in reality, he gets through tons of looks. And we can take that for what it is. And that's always been the case. And I'll take guys getting open looks because when he does go to the rim and he passes out, people clog it on him. Mm-hmm. That's not, you know what I mean? People respect it though. They don't respect him shooting. Listen, people don't respect Giannis shooting. Okay? Teams are still backing all 40 feet and let him shoot the 3 ball. Right? And he airballed one the other night. You know what I mean? Teams let him shoot it. So, I mean, they're always going to clog the lane on guys that can't shoot it, but do you have enough spacing to still win? And I think this basketball team does. I think when you want to clog it, when you get a guy like Seth, like we were talking about earlier, that's so consistent from there and so lethal, it makes you have to pick your poison. And most NBA teams are going to try to take away the 3 ball because they're not coached properly. That's the difference. So now you're getting looks. You're getting them things in the playoffs. Listen, he doesn't have to come in the playoffs and drop 30 a night. He's got to come in the playoffs and be aggressive, okay? Be an 18 a night guy and be the walking triple-double he is, and nobody say a damn word. Because if he gives me 18 a night and triple-double talk, I got nothing to say if we're winning games. Now, if we're losing and it's 8 and it's a hollow 18, then we have the, you know what I mean? We have the visual conversation. But listen, everything's on the table moving forward. But I don't know. I'm different, man. I feel connected to this whole fucking process, right? Because it's like what they did to us, right? Like not this group of people, but before, like this is what they put us through. We lost on purpose for guys. And thank God we don't got Wiggins. I mean, we could have Wiggins. I mean, think how bad it could be. Like
or Jabari Parker.
Dude, we got Jabari Parker, Andrew Wiggins. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? So, like, the only thing we missed on was Tatum, obviously, which hurts.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, been good times.
The one thing, and I don't normally like to listen to the national broadcast, especially for the NBA, but the one thing that Doris Burke did say tonight, and it was about Ben Simmons, and she was mentioning how she thinks there's another gear for Ben, and she doesn't know what it is, but she did mention she wishes he was a little bit more killer-ish in the paint. Yeah, right, where we all, and I think that's an easy win for all of us, right?
Nobody debates that bad boy.
When you get into paint, we want you to finish.
Do your job. That's why he was so good in his rookie season.
Yep,
that's what everyone forget. Not you guys, but the people. Like people don't understand. Like we're not asking when people in the chat say, "Oh, well, you're being unfair with Simmons." I'm just asking him to do what he did his rookie season.
Right,
his rookie season, he was nothing special other than he was efficient in the paint. That's it. That's it.
Right. It's here. It's here. Like like, our sponsor, a Tonight Show. Right. So I mean, you talk about not just mental health, period, but sports psychology is a real thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like getting in your fucking head's a real thing. I'm not saying I'm okay with it, right? You're paid money to get out of your head, but it's real. And, I don't know why he doesn't look as good around the rim, like Doris said, because every other year he's at least finished around the rim.
He used to dunk all the time. Now it's a stupid palm shot thing, whatever the hell that is. It's like he's throwing a friggin' volleyball.
But let's give this staff time to get their hands really on him, and these vets to get their palms and really get up in them a little bit and see if we can get more and get what we need. And I think we'll all be okay moving forward. But this team goes, and I'll say it a million times, this team is going to go as Joel Embiid goes. All right, and this team runs through Joel Embiid, and I want this offense to run through Joel Embiid. And with Ben Simmons as your point guard, this offense will run through Joel Embiid. It's as simple as that. If somebody else is running the point, it's not going to run through Joel. If you have a volume scorer that needs the basketball in their hands at the guard position, it's not going to run through Joel as much. All right, it's not. Murray's not the point guard over in Denver, right? So it's not the same situation like going to get a guy, at the point guard position who's going to shoot a lot. Not saying them guys aren't great to have, but we have a lot of guys who look to be able to make open looks. And that's where Ben comes in handy at, and that's where teams having a double Joe come in handy. So we'll find out, boys. We will find out. Fun though.
I will say, because I know
boys, I gotta roll.
Later, Greg.
Stuff. Nate, thanks, brother.
See you, Greg.
No, good seeing you, pal.
Yep, right back at you.
I was going to give him a go Magic, but I'm not doing that. What I was going to say was, because I know, Tom, when we were signing off on Monday, somebody in the chat asked us, like, who – because everyone – like, we've seen a million times in this chat, the T word, trade. Everyone wants to talk about trades. So – they were saying, like, what's the most realistic trade that you think could be a great move for the team and all that stuff, right? So what I did was I went to the machine the other day. Oh, is this thing still on? Oh, here it is. All right. Sorry, no, something just popped up. I'll give you this trade, and you tell me if you think it's realistic and if you think it'll be an improvement, okay? So it is a 1-for-3 person deal with the Sixers in Sacramento. The Sixers would send Danny Green, Mike Scott, and Matisse Thybulle to Sacramento for Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes would then become our starting 3, and our starting 5 would be Simmons, Seth, Harrison Barnes, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid.
Harrison Barnes doesn't do anything for me. I'd rather have Danny Green.
Yeah, I'll pass on that trade.
Yeah, I'll pass on that too.
I'll pass.
Key.
Next.
Doesn't do anything for you? 17 and a half. Okay.
I don't care if we talk about his points, right? He's been doing that for a long time, and And ever since he got paid, he's not been the same player. So, no, his field goal percentage isn't good. He's not a fucking winner. I'd rather keep a Danny Green on my team that I know will hit big shots in big moments. At least has a pedigree of winning than Harrison Barnes. He just doesn't do it for me anymore. Like he was a good player early on in his career. And when he got paid by Dallas, he was never the same guy anymore. I mean, this guy was averaging 25 a night. Like he's just not the same player. If you look at his numbers, they've gone down. It's just not the same guy. That's the only reason I'm like, Could he be so good, then what's Sacramento's issue?
They've got a lot of issues over there.
I'm just saying he's a vet, like, you know what I mean? Who is paid. We get mad at Tobias. Harrison Barnes is paid to drop 24, 25 a night. That's what he's getting paid to do. He never does it. Not anymore. When's the last time he scored 20? Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, I can give it to you. Let's see. Points per game, if it actually gives it to me. He's the only year he averaged anything close to 20 was 2016, and it was 19.
He's been playing longer than that.
He's been playing since 2012.
You talking about Barnes?
Harrison Barnes. Yeah, his career averages every year, it was 9, 9, 10, 12, 19, 19, 16, 17, 14, 14, 16.
Yeah, I'll pass on that trade.
Yeah, me.
I will pass on that trade.
Yeah.
Free throw percentage is up. Field goal percentage is up.
Proud of him.
3-point percentage is up.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of shooting too when you bring Barnes in. Green's a great threat from that kick out from the three. I don't trust Barnes in that role.
Yeah, that's my only issue. Not that he can't score, but he's more of a driver. He doesn't like.
He's a different type of scorer.
Yeah, he's more like Tobias. I'm telling you, he's more like Tobias, where it's almost like he's better at creating his own three than necessarily like it's just different. I don't know. It's weird. But no, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you got another one? No.
No.
Barnes? You want Harrison Barnes now?
No.
Sorry, Ryan.
Absolutely not.
So if somebody came in for you here.
No, I didn't expect no. I didn't expect no. No, I'll just go. It's fine. I'll go back to Levine next week. It's cool. I'll go back to
If it
Levine.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'll get back to you on that in the playoffs now.
Oh, well,
Let you know if it's broken.
Listen, you think it's bad here? Try being a fucking Bucks fan.
At
least we ain't I'm saying at least we ain't going first in the East every year and getting knocked out.
Well, at least they have positivity in the regular season. Christ.
But my point is, stop it. If we were Bucks fans, we'd say they never can go over the hump too, right?
My God! If it was the other way around, I think Ben Simmons would have gotten traded last week.
I'm just making a point. Like it's like
yeah,
they're right there all the time, and they just can't get over that hurdle either right now.
Yeah.
And part of that,
and, this offseason they sent those 3 first-rounders for Drew Holiday, and
well, they try to get a little bit more vet heavy, right, Ralphie? Because they know you got to win with some vets. You can't like young guys like Giannis. It's hard to win. It's hard to win championships with. It's fair because he's still developing. The crazy thing is he's still getting fucking better.
Yeah,
you know I mean, like he's not done yet. So it's like you can't. Like they're just getting started.
No, Jacob, nobody's saying trade Simmons for Levine. I'm not even there yet.
I would punch somebody in the face. I can't eat that.
I might do it just for the sheer entertainment value, but that's about it. Just to see
scored 30 in a loss. Scored 30 in a loss, Zach Levine.
Hey, he's having a career year. He just tied Michael Jordan's record.
Oh, now stop it. The fact that you're not even allowed to do that—that's the biggest violation of all time.
No, I'm not lying. He actually did that. That's not a lie.
For a team that's 6-8, you are not allowed to compare anybody. I don't care what he did on the court.
I didn't compare. I just said he tied the record. Eddie, that's not a comparison.
No, he didn't tie a record. He tied a 2021 record, which isn't even real. He's on
What's the record?
I don't even know who it was. I just heard Michael Jordan. So you stop it.
It was like scoring percentage. It was like he's got the highest scoring percentage since Michael Jordan or something as a ball.
Oh my God! Somebody jerk me off and tell me you love me. I mean, come on. Hey, I don't even know if that's
hey. Ben Simmons could take a note or two from that. Ben Simmons could take a note or two when you talk about scoring percentage.
Fourth worst team in the East. We're talking about Michael Jordan. Is that Mike? Hey, Mikey. I see you. There you are. I knew you were in there somewhere. Talk to me if they're 8-6. Maybe I'll let the Michael fly out.
I was telling Ralphie the other day after the Sixers' bad loss before the second COVID hit, I went to the damn trade machine at 3 a.m. and I found like 7 trade scenarios for Ben Simmons. I'm not bringing it up on the show. I'm not there yet, but I'm just telling you, when we get to that point, they're waiting.
Yeah.
They're sitting in my archive on my phone. I'm not saying them out loud though, because I don't want to do that. Ralphie knows how bad they are. They're not good.
Levine don't even know what a pass is. Like not saying he can't score, because he absolutely can, but he doesn't even know what dish the ball means.
Nah, I'm not even trading Tobias for Levine right now. That's fine.
What other options did you have? Do you have another one? And then we'll get the
No, it was just the one. It was just the one. I only had one.
Gentlemen, the Eagles. 15 minutes or so here.
Noah just woke up.
Let's do this fast and get the hell out of here.
Because you have something to do.
What do you got, a midnight curfew there, Ralph?
No.
So what are you gonna turn? What are you gonna? What is Howie gonna spank you if you're not in bed by midnight?
Bank talk. My question to you is the same poll question we just had with the ladies. I'm going to ask you guys and the family out there. All right, you're okay with the Eagles taking their time before hiring their next head coach? Agree or disagree? You're okay with all the time they're taking?
I think they're waiting for one guy.
Who?
And he's with Kansas City. I want Eric Bieniemy, dude.
That's a pipe dream, Ralph.
I
Don't
do.
do it to yourself.
Ralph,
I know. I think they're waiting for Kansas City to get not to the win the Super Bowl or get done with their playoffs. And then once that happens, I get my guy. I love
Eric. Why are we going back to the tree? We're going to the tree again. It's like we know one tree. We don't know. I love Andy.
Why not? There you go. Yeah, Jeffrey knows. Come on.
Ralph.
Real quick, I already said mine earlier and let you guys go. And mine's really fast. I disagree because I don't believe that this organization, from the Tuesday that they had their first meeting, believed that they were even firing Doug Peterson. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you get fucking fired, you get fired on the Tuesday. You don't get fired the next Tuesday. You don't have 2 meetings to get fired. You get fired that day. What are we talking about? We're not on the same page. Dude, tell me
after the Washington game.
Right, Ralphie, they were indecisive as an organization. They didn't know. And now what we're finding out, in my opinion, when you hired when you interviewed a whole country like they have, do you have a plan? Do you have a guy? Or maybe it's fair that their guy is in an AFC title game. Maybe. But guess what? The stock I have in that and believe in that they had that plan, I don't buy it one freaking bit. I think they got caught with their pants down. I think it was almost a mutual parting of ways. That's called a firing because they didn't see eye to eye. And they got caught with their damn pants down, and here they are now, interviewing the whole damn country. If you ever coach a position in this country of football, you get an interview here. Everybody gets an interview, which I'm okay with if I trusted the people interviewing. So that's my thoughts. Hopefully you guys can bring some more positivity than that.
Here's my thoughts. Speaking of pants down, Jeff has his pants down and Howie's on his knees. And that's why Howie still has a job here.
Well,
I agree, Noah. I agree.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Howie should have been the one fired. He has no fucking clue. And the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that the reason we have a trophy from 2017 was not because of Howie, but because of Joe Douglas, who's obviously now with the Jets.
I'll take him. I'll take him back. I'll trade it. No, that's a good point. No, I mean, to me,
just saying.
Yeah, no, you're
right.
right.
What did the Jets go get right now? What did the Jets go get? They went and probably got the on the market, the best leader of men that you could probably handpick in Robert Saleh. Leader of men, the Jets went out and got a goddamn. They went and said, Joe Douglas said, You know what? You guys all get caught up in XO from a head coach? No. My head coach got to be able to lead you. His staff needs to be able to coach you and design plays for you. Like any head coach that calls their own plays just by themselves fail. It's just factual. They fail. I always a big believer in Nate. You played, right? Like if I got 3 different guys calling plays a game at different times, I'm keeping every defense I see in 16 games on their damn heels because I don't have a tendency. I create mismatch. I create different thought processes. I create different ideas, different schemes. If it's all one person, now I can actually dial in on what you're running because I know your personal tendencies. And I think that's what these egomaniacs at the pro level can't wrap their head around. That if I just got a little outside the box, Andy does it all the time. He'll let freaking Eric call plays. He'll call plays. He'll freaking let Kafka call plays. He'll let the whole freaking staff call plays. And that's another reason why they score so many points week in, week out. Because they're creative as shit.
Yeah.
Well, they got Mahomes, so that helps.
I mean, it helps everybody. I mean, you know my point. I feel like you guys understand it, though. Is there any validity to, like, maybe not 3 guys, but at least two? Like, I don't know who's calling them. I don't know who's calling what. You know what I mean? At least as a defense coordinator, you make him think more. I don't know. That's just my thing.
I just thought going into this year, not having an OC was kind of strange because it's, as far as we know, we've always had, an OC along with our head coach.
And he wanted one.
Yeah. Right. And
they fired him.
Yeah.
They fired him. And then COVID hit, Ralphie. So think about it. He probably didn't want to go outside the box at that point, right? Because there's nothing going on. He can't do anything. So he got stuck. He got stuck there, in my opinion. I don't think Doug wanted to call all his own plays. Like, I think he wanted Grow back. Just like he wanted Frank back in 2016. They let him do it, right? But it's like, now you're telling him to bring him back.
I don't understand that either. The fact that they wanted to fire Frank Gregg after 1 year, like, I don't understand that.
Power trip.
Usually, whenever you hire a new coach, you let that coaching staff, play out and see where it goes. But after 1 year, want to get rid of Frank, it doesn't make sense to me at all. But obviously, thank God we kept him, and obviously you saw what happened in 2017 when the Super Bowl, and now he's the head coach of the Colts. But yeah, that report, it just did not make any sense whatsoever.
Quick question: your offense better with Mike Rowe?
No, it was better with Frank Wright. It was
no. I'm saying from this year to last year. Like, was our offense better with Frank?
No.
I hate Frank Reich, but I'm sorry, I hate Mike Rowe, but I'll take Mike Rowe back in 2 seconds compared to what the hell we saw this year.
Yep, that's the craziness. What up, Kevin?
What's up, Kevin?
No, Jesse, he does call plays, but remember, he lets other guys call him too. He's always been.
I think it was the year Doug was hired, that playoff game in New England when Andy Reid had the clock mishap. Remember that? In New England, when they were getting everything going, he let Doug call the second half in a playoff game with everything on the line. So as Andy Reid's he's been a trust guy, and obviously he has trust him and his whole entire staff to, even in big games to call plays.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I can't really judge what they're doing. I mean, I think last year they missed out on a couple pieces and they ended up with just Doug. So this year, I honestly, I'm just waiting and just watching. Everybody's guessing. Everybody says, "Hey, we like this guy. We like this guy." I don't know the direction where they go. I'm gonna just wait and see what direction they go and see what builds upon that. I honestly don't know.
More to Nate's point, you know what's unfortunate? Howie doesn't know what direction they're going in. Yeah. And he's the general manager, okay?
Yeah, right.
He has no clue. And furthermore, you have Jeffrey Lurie, who thinks he's the football guy, all right? Meddling. Remember, we used to make fun of the Dallas Cowboys and make fun of Jerry Jones, right? Because he wanted to be the coach, GM, and quarterback, right? And write the check. Well, guess what? All right, I got news for you. Jeffrey Lurie, he's pretending to be GM as well. And he wants to be coach. He wants to do it all. And you know what? It's biting us in the ass. And until Jeffrey Lurie realizes that and realizes that it's time to say bye-bye to Howie, bring in a real football guy to be a general manager, this team is going nowhere next year or the next few years.
Oh, the same owner that tells you defense really doesn't matter. He just wants an electric offense. That owner? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
And Tom, to your question, what do I think they're doing? Or do I have a problem with what they're doing?
Do you have a problem with them waiting? Is it like, do you have a problem with not having a head coach hired already?
No, I don't have an issue with it because at this point, when now we only have 2 jobs remaining in the Texans and us, and at some point we got to recognize that I think the Eagles job is more attractive than the Texans job, and that's really bad being able to say that. But I look at it now. At no point did I ever think they knew what they were doing. I think the only plan they thought was, hey, let's try and get Lincoln Riley here. And the second that kind of went out the window, I think now they're just like, hey, let's interview as many guys as possible. If we can get Bieniemy or Dable in here for an interview, let's do it. But I think what they've been trying to do ever since then and kind of been waiting for –
Dable doesn't even want to come here.
That's number one. They've got to now convince him to come here. And he even said going to any team – he's not going to interview until the Bills are eliminated, where, hey, that might not happen for another couple weeks because obviously if they get to the Super Bowl, we got to wait for a while.
Is that the OC?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'd rather that be enemy than Dable.
Honestly. Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. But to now, I think all these interviews, I think they're just going in and they're getting all these different guys, trying to find somebody that wows them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's use our sources. Hey, maybe this guy was referred to us by the Saints. Maybe Sean Payton said something about this defensive coordinator. Maybe Frank Reich said something about this offensive coordinator, this Sirianni. Okay, well,
what they're trying to find is a yes man. That's what they're trying to find.
I agree with you. I hope it's not the case. Like my 2 would be McDaniels or Bieniemy. Like if I like them 2 or on my short list, because I think McDaniels may be able to figure it out a second time around and not have as much responsibility. I don't know how he is as a leader of men. I know Robert Kraft loves him, and that's the reason he didn't take the coach job. That's why Frank went and took it. But I do think both can end up being helpful with their staff for Carson Wentz, and that's what I need. Like I will
tell you this, Tom. And obviously we talked on Monday, and I was all right with the Josh McDaniels. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. On the way home when I was in the car tonight, and I'm not saying this guy is, I take it at gospel, but Ross Tucker was talking. Obviously, a big name in the NFL and all. The amount of good things he had to say about Josh McDaniels, he almost sold me. Yeah. Talking about you can't say he's not a leader of men. He's intense on the sidelines. He gets everyone's attention in the locker room. He's a smart guy. He talked about, like we talked about on Monday, to where 9 out of the last 10 seasons, they had a top 10 offense. You could see how they've won different ways over there. Obviously, Tom Brady helps. But when you look at the things that they worked with Tom Brady, it wasn't Bill. It was McDaniels.
Why did I like Doug, Rye, when we hired Doug?
But does he fit here? Does McDaniels – and that was the only question I had with McDaniels.
I think he does.
Does he fit here? Because bringing that kind of Patriot way or the highway shit, I'm not sure if that fits here in Philly. That's my only question about that hire.
That's a great point. But maybe he figured out the difference in being able to do that from Denver to now, right? Mm-hmm. And he's maybe grown. I will say this about Joshua. I believe he's going to bring a really good staff with him. Mm-hmm. So that's selling to me. And I think, the reason I liked the Doug hire back in the day, because he was around winning his whole career. From playing to coaching, he was around winners. From Shula, Marino to Favre and Holmgren to Andy, right? To Five, right? He was always around guys who won. So that enticed me that he knew what it took to win or be around winning, right? Because remember when he said in 2017 in the offseason, this team reminded me of the Packers team we won a Super Bowl with, and everybody smoked them. Everybody smoked them, but guess what? Who was the one guy in this city that didn't smoke them? That I know for a fact. Hello? Because I said, you know what? That's what leader of men do. They instill confidence in you. Even if they don't believe what they just said, they're doing it because they believe and they get more out of you, right? So, not saying nobody else believed that, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying. I was more joking there, but like that's what entices me to him. And that's the thing that entices me to McDaniels and entices me to Bieniemy a little bit too, is that they've been around cultures of winning. That matters. And not that Deuce hasn't, but Deuce hire is unfair to Deuce. Because I think Deuce, you hire Deuce, it tells me that you didn't have a game plan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I disagree.
You can't hire the assistant coach of the coach you just fired that won 4 games. How can you not let your coach bring back coaches, but you can then fire him and hire his assistant coach who was just part of a roster that won 4 games?
I mean, from everything that we heard from Deuce is that obviously he's got the great respect not only of the players on the team but around the league, and not even that, he's homegrown, right? He's worked his way up through the ranks from a player to I'm not sure if he was a scout. I'm pretty sure he went straight to being a running backs coach, then to an assistant coach. He's worked his way up. He's earned the right to be the head coach of the Eagles. I won't take that away from him. And from what I've heard, I don't know how true the sources are or what they are, he's going to have an excellent staff behind him. And I think that's what he needs, right? He needs a top-tier OC. He needs a top-tier defensive coordinator.
He was here. It is here.
I don't know what you just said, but I'd say it again.
That was just funny to me, right? Like he was just here. So like all these special names that are being promised, right? It's like fucking politics. You guys are all going to promise me stuff when you're running around campaigning, and none of it's going to come true, right? Like you know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's like I'm going to promise you all these things, and like nothing's going to come true. And that's my thing. I love Deuce, and I think Deuce would be a tremendous leader of men. But now we're going to have a staff behind him. Where the hell was the staff? He was here.
Why didn't we supply that staff to Doug?
Because Doug wanted to call the plays. That's what Doug wanted. Doug didn't want an OC.
Fair.
Maybe.
Fair.
Or maybe they fired his OC and he said, fuck you.
And spiteful. He got spiteful.
And I think we said this before. I think Schwartz doesn't get enough credit for the job he did here.
You're right.
I mean? Yep. Schwartz was not a bad – it's not like Schwartz was a bad defensive coordinator. He wasn't great. He wasn't amazing, but he wasn't bad either.
That's the funny thing, Nate. Everyone's talking, and justifiably so, everyone's talking about who their, whoever coach is coming here, who his offensive coordinator is going to be. I'm more hell-bent on this defensive coordinator.
Well,
if
it's McDaniels, right, you're going to get a guy like Mayo, or you're going to get a guy like Patricia that have been – well, Mayo hasn't been a defense coordinator, but Patricia, who's been a high-level defense coordinator.
Did Mayo get the job as a DC?
No. Mayo didn't get hired, right? Not yet.
No,
right?
no, I don't think so. No, he's still out there.
I thought I saw that. My bad.
He's running around for head coaching jobs too.
The Eagles they considered him a couple weeks ago for head coach. That's the crazy thing. Like that's why, like, if we can get McDaniels in here and then get Mayo in here as defensive coordinator, that's a win-win for at least in their perspective.
Who was he? Where does he coach at? I forget. Is it
Mayo?
Yeah, Mayo.
Yeah, he was New England's linebacker coach.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's New England's linebacker coach.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going off the strength that the word on the street that he's a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
Like I think D'Amico Ryans is the same way from what I've seen too, right?
Yep, he's 49ers linebacker coach, correct?
Yeah,
dude. I take Nate. I'm a player junkie, baby. Like, give me as many former players that I can surround myself with that are going to, especially younger guys that are going to get respect from the locker room, are going to play for guys that understand what it takes to go through it. Doug was a former player. Like, I like former players. I'm a big former player junkie. Like, I feel like as a head coach in National Football League, I feel like you at least need to take a snap or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, you at least need to get your beak wet somewhere, because I think it matters. With grown men in locker rooms, I think it matters. That's why a lot of college guys get the job. They don't get the respect and they fail.
Mm-hmm. You're going to college because the GMs and owners know, well, these guys are going to be grateful because you're giving them their first big break at the NFL.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
Because what's going to happen? They're going to be great play designers and shit like that. They're going to be smart minds, but they can't get a locker room to play for them worth a lick.
No,
right? We see money in Chip. Chip wasn't creative. He was creative as shit.
And I forget who was talking about it the other day. It was a former player. They were saying that's where Nick Saban failed too when he was in Miami. When that's one of the big reasons why he didn't really translate that well to the NFL. It's because of the whole player-coach dynamic. So I think that's spot on. And I know somebody said earlier, and it's a great point.
Scholarships away, right? You know what I mean? You can't take scholarships away or sit you for 2 quarters for not obeying team rules, right? Like it all changes at the next level. Guys are getting paid more than you. You know what I mean? Like you got to understand that guys are getting paid more than you, and it's like, whoa, now they're your boss.
It's true. Yeah, they have bigger brands. Not only just getting paid game checks, they have bigger brands than the head coach.
Hey, Teddy P. Alshon Jeffrey's not going to be here next year, but he's gone.
Better not.
He's gone.
At least we don't have to worry about any more leaks because they're not saying nothing gets out of that building in New England.
Yeah, he's not going to be here next year, man. They need to fix their cap situation, and he's one of the biggest things. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was him and Malik Jackson. If they let them go before, I forget the date. I want to say June 1st.
June 1st, correct.
Yeah, if they let them go, they save it was like 20, 30 something million on the cap or something like that.
Yeah,
somewhere around that area. Yeah, he's gone. Him and Malik are gone.
So no, I want to ask. I want to ask you real quick because we haven't had you on. Who's your number one head coaching candidate that you want?
Well, realistically now, really, to be honest, I was okay with giving Doug one more year, and I think they fired the wrong guy. All right? I think Howie should be long gone. I mean, obviously I alluded to Joe Douglas being much more responsible for us hoisting the Lombardi trophy 3 years ago than Howie. So that being said, look, I think at this point, you try to go for McDaniel. If Josh McDaniels doesn't take the job, shit. Call me crazy. I think you're then at the point where does Bieniemy even want the job?
I can't see how he
here's
would.
The thing. Huh?
I can't see how he would, Noah. I can't see why he would.
Exactly. I mean, here's the thing. Because you still have Howie here, no head coach in their right mind would want to take this job. It's the least attractive job in the NFL right now because Howie is still here and because he wants to be making football decisions when really all he should be doing is managing the cap, and that's it. Mm-hmm. We need a general manager who's going to make football decisions.
And to go off that point, and I think people don't even realize this about the Eagles, this is the reason why Chip Kelly put his ass in the other side of the wing. This is the exact reason why. Because even though as bad as Chip Kelly was for the time that he was here, he recognized that Howie was not a football mind. He did not know how to do football talent. That's why he said, no, I need to understand. I need to have full personnel control. Howie, manage the cap and take your ass on the other side of the building, and you stay there until I need you.
Right. Well, the problem, and I hear you there, but good point. But, the problem with Chip was he didn't know how to manage people.
Yeah, no, I don't like Chip was exciting, and obviously Nick Foles had a career year with Chip, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work, and that's why Chip's back.
Right. People, the opposing defensive coordinators caught up to Chip real fast. It may have taken them a year, but once they caught up to it, if you're not able to go readjust to their adjustments, if you will, then obviously the NFL was pretty short-lived for Chip.
I completely agree. Well, fellas, I got to get going here. It was always fun. See you guys next Monday. And shout out to Styles Washington with the super chat, man. He must have counted how many times I was right today. He must have counted all 5 times that you guys agreed with me, man. I'll check you guys later, man.
Later,
See it.
Have a great night, Nate.
Yep. See it.
See ya.
And to Styles' point, we appreciate you, Styles. He says, can Deuce get some love like, man, the players love him? And we all love Deuce. Listen, we obviously know what he's been with this organization. But I think, and I'm just speaking for me, I don't want to speak for everybody here. The reason why I'm lukewarm on the Deuce Staley thing, I'm not trying to turn into the Flyers, where we just keep going back to the same well again and again and again and again. And I truly believe, and it's not based off of what we're saying or what Deuce is saying, this ownership group and this GM talked about having a new mindset, a new way of thinking. Well, you're not going to get that from going into the same building that you're already in. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I'm not saying I'd be angry with the Deuce Staley thing, but to have a guy like McDaniels or a Bieniemy or a Dable, and I'm just saying they're out there. I'm not saying they're going to take the job or even be interested in the job. But with all the options out there, and now there is no rush. I mean, truly, there is no rush right now to get a head coach in here because the only team you're competing with are the Texans, and they don't even know who the quarterback's going to be, to where they, like, every head coach candidate who goes in there to interview, they're going to say, hey, what's going on with Deshaun Watson? And they're going to say,
I'll tell you what, do we know who our quarterback's going to be?
No, but at least we have two. They have none right now.
Well,
You know what I mean?
true.
You know what I mean? Like, at least we could say Hurts is going to be here at the least.
Well, no, if you don't have one, you don't have none. You got two, you got none. That's what they always say.
Yeah.
Well, the Texans might actually have none, though.
Have
That's
none.
yeah, they might legitimately have zero.
Styles, we appreciate you, brother. I'm sure he's got
thank you, Styles.
to you, but we appreciate all the super chat tips you guys give us. Man, the more you guys help us, the more shit we can keep doing this more and more and more. Simple as that. That's how it works.
Yes, sir.
That's how it works. Tristan, that's funny. Bring Doug back. Yeah, I could see that blowing him up.
I don't do crumb of the days, but if I did a crumb of the day, I would give it to friggin' the Giggles Low. I'm not even going to pronounce his name right over on the dial. Because on the way home, I had to listen to him. I listened to it for 30 seconds and I turned it off. He was making a point of why they should do it and why he thinks it's realistic that the Eagles are going to call Doug Peterson back and give him the job back.
Wow. If they actually did that, like, and I'm a Doug guy, they're the biggest fraud of an organization of all time. You know? Yeah. No, let me ask you a question, Noah. Because I think I know where these other guys are at with it. And me and Chrome went at it earlier on After Dark. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to that, but it was aggressive. And he made the case, and this is where I didn't like it, that because Carson or Doug never addressed the other one liking the other one, that it was true. That, like, all the reports there, it was true that they didn't like each other. And I said that, then why did Doug Peterson say it once he sits Carson Wentz down, he's telling the team we're not trying to win anymore? Why would he say that if they had – now, could their relationship gone south when he benched them? Sure. Absolutely. There's egos involved, okay? But do we really think that they hated each other, guys? I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. That's what I was trying to – my point was, like, just because he didn't say anything in them weeks, Carson or Doug, why would they say – they're not going to say anything now in the offseason.
Well, but real quick before Noah goes, I just want to say, like, so Chrome's saying that Doug didn't address it?
Well, he's saying that, like, neither one addressed the reports.
But if Chrome's saying that, he's wrong because Doug did address it. He's addressed it every week. Like, Doug's addressed it when he's asked by it. He's addressed it on the dial the morning after. He's addressed it on the post-game conferences. He's addressed it. He said numerous times that he has zero problems with Carson Wentz. He doesn't get where the speculation comes from, where the relationship was broken. He said that, I mean, he's addressed it a ton. Carson, no. Carson, if you want to talk about that side, but Doug's addressed it a lot.
Carson doesn't address anything. Carson's not a social media guy. Carson's not a big interview guy. It's not who he is. I did have a problem with him not doing the final interview of the year.
That hurt me.
You owe people that. You have to be accountable. I'm sorry. Like, I'll give you passes on certain shit. Not being a grown-ass man, I won't.
Yep.
Right? Not $128 million. You're the leader of my franchise. You have to come out and address me at the end of the year, and you can give me all the football answers, player answers. I don't give a fuck. but you have to come out and tell me you got to do a better job and you got to get the work. But you have to. And you have to say, no, I don't want to be anywhere else, right? It's simple. Even if you get traded, it doesn't matter. You still have to come out and say all the right fucking things and address the people, right? And that's the only thing I criticize outside of play. That's the only thing I criticize Carson Wentz for this year is the final presser and his play during the year. Besides that, like, I don't have this, Doug and him hate each other. Like, where did it come from? How, and all of a sudden they hate each other? No, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, right, that's good to know. I didn't know he addressed that on the morning show. And
in postgame. He's done it numerous times.
I thought he has, but I don't know when the exact moment that them reports like really came out.
Gotcha.
Like that's where I'm missing it. Like I thought it came out after the year.
No, week 16. Week 16 it started.
Christ. And I'm sure it came out on a Sunday, right? By ESPN.
Yeah. It was a Adam Schefter Sunday morning report on ESPN.
Love Shefty. Take this and shut up your ass. The Sunday morning reports about teams you're not even in the know with are the biggest scumbag reports of all time. I don't care. Carson Wentz might be the biggest scumbag of all time. I don't know. But them reports are shit every Sunday. Some reports are real. The speculation we talk about here are horse shit posts. Get facts behind your speculation. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. This is the way I look at it. I mean, go back to 2017. He has that terrible knee injury in the late regular season game against LA. All right, gets knocked out. Obviously knocked out. In comes Foles. Foles goes on. We hoist the Lombardi, and I think ever since then, that's always been in the back of Carson's mind, right? And it seems like. You go into 2018, go into 19, and it seems like he's always felt someone was looking over his shoulder, right? Or I'm sorry, you come into 19, I think in some sense that he had, I don't want to say relief, but there was nobody really looking over his shoulder in 19, right? So he makes it through the full regular season. All right. And then he has that terrible concussion, thanks to Clowney in that first round of the playoff game.
Yep.
And from then on, I guess the narrative bit, I think amongst the front office anyway, the narrative is and to some extent rightfully so, is can this guy stay healthy? His health is a big question mark. So of course they're thinking, well, maybe insurance policy. So the 2020 draft rolls around, and there you go. They draft Jalen Hurts in the second round. And now Carson's thinking, WTF? Why not maybe get me a receiver? Maybe get us more weapons. Maybe solidify the offensive line. How many different starting lineups did we have for the offensive line this year? Everybody and their mother got hurt. Okay, so now he's automatically thinking, well, does this organization really have my back? Okay, because now they're already drafting my supposed successor, I guess, in Jalen Hurts. So I think there's a lot of mental things that were going on in his head because of a lot of these events. Now, I'm not going to make excuses, all right? In the NFL, you better be ready to compete. And you better be able to compete no matter what position you play, even if you are the, anointed franchise QB. Okay? And the way I see it, Carson has gotten dealt a couple of bad hands. But guess what? That happens in football. That happens in professional sports. And you know what? Unfortunately, he didn't handle it very well this year. And it showed by his poor play, okay? And it showed, it reared its ugly head, and I think it came to a head during late in the year where Doug finally had enough in the regular season game against Green Bay and said, you know what? I got to put this guy on the bench. I got to do what's best for the football team. And that's what Doug thought was best at the time. You know, whether the two really had a rift or not, who knows? But I'm sure they weren't best friends after that ball game, right?
Listen, probably not. All the point needed to be made was the Chrome, who's chiming in right now, that Doug did address what you said nobody addressed. So at the end of our phenomenal argument earlier on, okay, that you can catch on HD After Dark, Chrome was wrong. So at least in the addressing. Now, that doesn't say, to Noah's point, to my point, once you sit a guy down, I'm sure it's not kumbaya fucking up. Okay? In a pro level. I'm sure it's not, we're besties now. Come on.
Right.
Now, was it unrepairable, like reported? Grow the fuck up. Like, not you guys. Like, grow the fuck up.
Right.
Everything's repairable with wins. So I don't want to hear unrepairable. You win games, everything becomes hold hands around the campfire, freaking roast some s'mores.
Right. But when you're a 4-win dumpster fire, every little spat becomes World War III.
Everything's going to be dissected, Noah. Every little thing is going to become the big thing.
Breaking. Doug had mint chocolate chip last night. Mint chocolate chip. He didn't have vanilla. Mint chocolate chip breaking on a fucking Sunday by Mortensen. Like, nobody gives a rat's ass. Yeah. When you, like I said, when you win 4 games, people get fired. Like, if Doug, like, firing Doug, if that's what you wanted to do, Jeffrey Lurie, you're the owner. Go ahead. Okay? But it will never be.
Me personally, I would have given Doug 1 more year, but you know,
hear me out.
But I get it.
No, there's a full context to this. If you're going to fire Doug, for me to get a cleanse-in, I need to get a manager to go with him. Now, what I would have done, because I've seen these two from 2016 to 2017 rebuild into a championship team, right? So, to me, I would have said, fuck it. There's too many teams that have better landing spots than us right now. Let's see what these two can do together. One more time, and then we move on from it. But the fire just Doug is a joke. If you fire one, then just fire both. I'm always going to stand by that. Like, I have no problem when it gets fired after 4 fucking wins. Like, see you, girl. Bye. Maybe your time's up. I don't know. All right? I like Doug, but it doesn't mean he ever gets, free passes for shit years. So it is what it is. But then you can't keep the upper management and expect us as a fan base to be like, what? He's on his 4th coach?
You got to clean the whole house.
No, 4 coaches. He's going to be a general manager around.
Yep.
Yeah, it just
don't hurt him. He's not the owner. He's not the owner.
To my point, Jeffrey Lurie.
He's not the owner. I feel like Howie Roseman owns the team. Like, he's not the owner. He's just a general manager. They get fired all the fucking time around football. Madome. This guy, you talked about Howie on his knees for Jeff. Fuck, that presser was Apo Taco. That presser, I mean, Jeffrey couldn't blow him more. He made excuses for the first round pick. He said, well, no, you missed on the rookie of the year. What are you talking about? Well, our analytics and we trust it. We trust in a lot of great guys that could be general managers all around the league are here, and people want to be here. And we look at our bad ones, but we look at our good ones, and our good ones outweigh our bad ones. You want to win 4 fucking games then.
So you see the comment from Ted, and he says, according to reports, Doug Peterson wanted to move on with Hurts as his quarterback. You know what I think that really is, to be honest? And honestly, I truly believe this. Don't know for a fact, but knowing how this media is and everything that we know what Doug Peterson was trying to do, I think what that comes from is that the truth is really Doug Peterson would have been open to moving with Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback week 1. Talking about a quarterback, competition like we talked about, right? So maybe he wasn't dead set on Carson Wentz, right? To where he's not going to blindly just give him the job next year if they're both in the building. So then the team and these sources, then it gets turned into Carson wants Jaylon to be his guy. When actuality, it's no. But Doug's open to Jalen Hurts eventually winning the job.
Or just said simply right, competition next year.
Yes.
And
that's it.
Blown up that he wants to run with Hurts. And, listen, at the end of the day, Doug's gone. And, we'll thank him for what he did here. Because we thank Nick, right? I mean, you're a part of getting our first one. We'll always remember you. The problem is that the jerk-off owner fell in love. The jerk-off owner said in his presser that the 5 guys who didn't play, he felt like he owed them one. What? Listen, brother, you're too loyal in this game, you get fucked in the ass. Sorry, that's the facts of the matter. You can't be loyal to everybody that won for you. You got to be loyal to your core. And they weren't. They weren't. They got lucky on free agent signings that were special players and winners, like Garrett Blunt and Chris Long. All right, they're big parts. They're culture room guys, right? You lost your culture, and you never created a new one. And I think Doug relied so much on his veteran leaders to run the show. When they left, it was a void that was never filled.
Yep.
And that's why you won 4 games this year.
Yeah, no doubt. And going forward, I mean, it's safe to say that, you look at Jason Kelsey, he'll probably be gone. Who's another heart and soul of this football team. And, on the, and Ertz and amongst many others. I'm sure Malik Jackson on the defensive side of the ball, possibly Fletcher Cox. And maybe Brandon Graham. None of them may be back.
I'll trust them drafting defensive guys and signing defensive front guys. That's the only thing they do well. Colin, you know why? Because you know who leaks a lot of the reports?
It's him.
I'm just giving people 101 big business. 101 big business. They report what they want you to report. They give you tidbits on what they want you to hear, just like the mainstream media does. They give you little pieces, little pieces, you know what I'm saying? Little crumbs. They give you little crumbs like you're a fucking rat, and you can come back for more. They leak the bullshit that they want to leak. And people say, oh, well, why would Howie Roseman leak bad stuff about Carson?
Because he's a master at self-preservation.
Yes.
He will blame everyone but him.
But people will tell you, Rye, oh, well, it ruins his trade value. I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Same thing with Simmons. It's the same thing with Simmons.
The guy's job.
Yes. And at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about trade value because his cap hit is enormous. It doesn't matter what the trade value is because either way, they got to take the cap.
Well, it's like
either way, you got to eat the money.
Like Deshaun Watson, 62 mil. Ralphie, did you hear that one? Did we talk about Monday morning quarterback?
Either way, you trade them or release them, you're still eating money. So.
And no guy's writing checks. Like Deshaun's not writing a check for 40. Who's just better going to eat it up, right?
No.
Not writing a check for 20. Like neither one of their significant others are allowing that to happen, especially playing pro football. That'd be dumb as shit, okay? Especially for guys that run around and get banged up. Well, Deshaun really doesn't, but Carson runs around and gets banged up. Like it's dumb. So you either going to eat it and take it for 1 year, or you play it out. But I'll tell you guys this. Nate wanted to guarantee something about Simmons, which I don't fully agree with, but I'll guarantee something if this organization decides Jalen Hurts their future starting quarterback, you will never get to where you want to get to in the postseason. And can I tell you why? If you watch Lamar Jackson have to throw from the pocket, and if you can't in this league, you get fucking exposed when the postseason comes around. You have to be able to throw from the pocket enough to win Super Bowls in this league. Enough. You don't have to be the greatest. Enough. You can't just be, I scramble around and make plays. You can't just be that. You have to be able to throw from the pocket in this league. And that's my only issue on Jalen. I love the kid. Aces, but facts are facts. 52% completion percentage ain't winning shit in this league.
Yep.
You better be 58 or higher, baby. You even want to talk about it.
Hey, just ask Randall Cunningham and Buddy Ryan from, the late 80s, early 90s. What did they win? Absolutely 0 playoff games. Yeah, and they had some of the best defenses in NFL history. And, bottom line is Randall at the time couldn't throw from the pocket, didn't exactly master the playbook, and voila, there were a lot of first and second round exits.
And it's a joke too, Ted, right? Like if you wanted to prove after 2017 that Carson was your guy and you don't want the controversy, you trade Nick the second you have a chance to trade him, and look what you could have came out with.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about a couple.
Couldn't even smell Nick Chubb's jock strap.
Absolutely not. Well, Tom, we go back to what we were talking about.
More shake. Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're good. I'm watching the replay too. Are you watching the replay? Yeah, I'm watching it too.
I'm a junkie.
Yeah, I got to see it again. I got to see Ben Simmons go 2 for 5, take 5 shots.
Well, you saw that open look that Shake he created though when he stepped out of bounds, but hit the 3 right before that.
And I'll give him that.
We're crowning open looks.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Hey, we won. I'll give it to him because we won. If that was a loss, I'm not giving that to him. Okay. But no, like I know from the years we've been doing shows, we always talk a journey backwards, right? So a couple Mondays ago, Tom and I was saying to Tom, it was on the same day where Doug was fired, and we talked about how obsessed this organization is. Mainly, it starts with Howie Roseman and ends with Jeffrey Lurie, with controversies. You go all the way back to 2013, right, Noah? With quarterback controversies. From then till now, it was Vic versus Foles. Then it was Foles versus Sanchez. Then it was Foles versus Bradford. Then it was Bradford versus Wentz. Then it was Wentz versus Foles. Then it was Wentz versus Foles again. Now it's Wentz versus Hurts. And once again, it's going to be Wentz versus Hurts. Every single year, except for one, meaning the Super Bowl, every year has ended in a controversy. Every single year.
Yeah, it usually doesn't win you many titles. It's 2017 aside. When you have 2, you quite possibly have none. And look, all that aside, at least going into this year, I'm almost at the point where you just give Deuce Staley the job, and then let's see where the chips fall where they may. The bottom line is
12:40 at night. You're going to trigger now.
Huh?
It's 12:40 at night, and now you're going to trigger me at 12:40 at night. I haven't been triggered enough tonight. You know what I mean? Are you going to trigger me? Oh, my goodness. Oh,
look, the way I look at it, Tom, until Howie Roseman is out of here, this team is going to have a very hard time competing again. Because look, you could put, but I don't care. You could bring Vince Lombardi back from the dead. Okay. It doesn't matter. As long as Howie is still here, this team's going nowhere. And I hate to say that. And I'm usually pretty optimistic about my Eagles, but
yes, you are.
This is.
I'm in a different boat, though. I'm sorry. Boat. I think they can be good quick again. Like if 11's right and they have an offensive line, they can win a division next year. They get the 6th pick of their draft. It should be an impact player.
I agreed, but I have a problem with the guy who's going to be picking that there, and I think that's Howie.
Well, no, I've already made this clear. He's not making that pick. We are as a fan base. So I'm not even counting this as his pick. This is our pick. So, no, I don't trust anything about him. He's a loser. He's a pocket-protecting nerd, and I got no time for him. But I still think that if this offensive line stays intact and it's healthy and an 11's healthy, that they can compete, right? Like they might be a dumpster fire, or
the division's trash, so we could go 8-8 next year and win the division.
True.
Or we could win 2 games.
And we could end up taking a quarterback next year in the draft. We could end up picking a quarterback.
Why are you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
Why are we? What are we doing?
I'm bracing for impact, Tom. I'm bracing now. That way, I am not disappointed later.
Don't worry. He said 5 years. He's got time.
Oh, that's right. A 2 to 5 year plan. That's wonderful. Even though right before that, he said that he could fix a cap in the offseason. It's funny how he said two things at once within 30 seconds.
Everybody knows the cap is just a 1 year thing.
And then he followed it up with, well, we have a 2 to 5 year plan. Well, then why'd you say the 1 year thing, Jeffrey?
I mean, essentially the 1 year thing, but you have to get rid of all your shit to make it a 1 year thing.
That whole press conference was a pile of dog shit. So.
You have to start over.
The whole season was a pile of dog shit, Ralph.
Yeah. No, I'll ask you. This is the last thing I got for you.
4-11-1. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. No, this might be the most important thing I ask you all offseason because I haven't heard it yet. Who do you want at 6?
I mean, I know a lot of people are saying Devontae Smith, and hey, if he's the best guy on your board, damn it, go get him. I mean, I'm a guy. I firmly believe you take the best player available. Period. And I think we need to clearly set ourselves up overall where there is competition at every fucking position on the field, including quarterback. If Carson beats out Jaylon in camp, then by golly, Carson will start week 1. But look, if Carson still, if we're getting to August and Carson still doesn't have it together, now I'm guessing there will be preseason games this year. I don't know how it's all going to shake out with COVID and all this crap. But assuming they go back to the traditional 3 or 4 preseason games, that'll be, you count that with training camp and all this other, all the off-season OTAs, yada, yada, yada. If it's more of a traditional off-season, whoever the next head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles are, they'll be able to take a long look at Jaylon and Carson and may the best man win, and really how you rise from the dead or the ashes or however you want to put it, whether we're rising to 8-8 or whatever we're rising to.
Hey, that's doubling our wins, Noah. I'll take 8 right now and I'll go to bed. That's doubling our wins.
Well, shit. 6-10 almost won the division this year.
I'll take 6-10 right now, Noah.
Jesus.
I'll take
it. In order to build a winning culture again, there needs to be competition. No job can be safe. And, look, they're going to have to make a lot of tough decisions with a lot of these veteran players, and they can't be afraid to say goodbye. And I think there's going to be a lot of longtime Eagles that will not be here in 2021.
Yes, sir.
So, but yeah, for my money, I think you take Smith. I mean, he was obviously unbelievable in the national championship game against Ohio State. He obviously has hands. He can create separation. I mean, those are, the two big, most important things for a wide receiver.
Something none of our guys have. Yeah.
Right.
A route runner.
And he's a great route runner.
Great route runner. I got no problem. Him, Surtain,
Chase.
Yeah, I don't like sitting out of here, but yes. I need route runners. I need guys who can play slot, inside, outside, everywhere. They can get separation, but if you take Patrick Surtain Jr., I'm totally cool with that. So,
I mean, we you name it. For a 4-win team, we need help everywhere. Corner, receiver, offensive line, defensive line, you name it.
Well, he's an elite offense. So I assume since he's saying an elite offense, a wide receiver will be the pick at 6. But listen, boys, great fucking show. Noah, love you. Can't wait
Welcome
to see
back, sir. Welcome back.
Yeah, right back at you guys. It's great to be on again. It's good to see you guys. I know it's been a while.
Yep.
Been 10 fucking months.
Been a long one, but we're happy you're back. Man, if anybody don't know, Noah, me and Noah have been doing shows for friggin' 6 years together. So, long ass time. So, good to have you back.
Yep.
You and Ralphie struggled with chemistry earlier, but you guys really responded well. Thanks, Nate, for coming on Money Pop Podcast.
Yep.
Give Nate a follow. Win you some goddamn money. And me and Nate every Saturday morning, 10:30, we play a little agree disagree game. I constantly beat him. So tune into that every Sunday. Frank Vespi, who had to jump off early, and Greg Milakvic. We love you boys. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Delvecchio, Noe Eaton, family out there, Donovan, the tips, all you guys in the super chats tipping us away. We can't thank you enough. And listen to me. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. Number's right there on the screen, fam. The Counseling Center right in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, but they also do virtual telehealth as well. So you need anything. This is my guy. I'm telling you, guy went through hell early on in his life and cleaned himself up and gives back to people and helps people out. And he's a special guy, and he'll help you out. I know. Listen, 2021, don't be scared to talk to anybody, okay? Go get help if you need help for anything, all right? And us, A2D, we want to help you direct anybody that needs it in the right direction, all right? The Counseling Center, Sunrise and Sunrise Detox, either for mental health, the Counseling Center, addiction issues, obviously Sunrise Detox, okay? 856-651-8117. Tell him Tom and the boys from A2D sent you, all right? It's my guy, and he'll take care of your family. We're also brought to you by our doc, Make Him Yours, the best in the business, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy.com, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations, and all campus, OC.com. Discount code A2D for all your team hats. All campus, OC.com, discount code A2D for all your team hats. Fam, wherever platform you're watching, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, turn your alerts on. Anywhere you get your podcast, we're everywhere. Follow us, review us, give us 5 stars. Just don't give us 1. You know what I mean? I'd rather you just troll us in here. So don't give us a 1 piece. But listen, we can't thank you guys enough. You guys help drive the show. Tonight, a little crazy. We got so many guys on, so we try to get to you guys. It's wild. Fan Friday night. Give you guys a chance to come on, air it out with us. We give you 2 minutes to get it all off your chest and then on to the next guy. All right? Thank you for your support. Tomorrow night, Birds of a Feather. Hockey Happy Hour first, then Birds of a Feather. They're going to be a little switcherama, I believe.
Live reactions.
Live reactions to the Flyers, I believe, for the Hockey Happy Hour tomorrow, then followed by Birds of a Feather. And you already know it. Shows every day. We can't thank you guys enough. Turn them damn alerts on. We out.
That's my baby. That's my baby. We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
What the
hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?